so you can start dancing even before the show. Yeah. We can play it again. We can play it again. ALTBAYS show is live Friday 7 p.m. What a pleasure. Brought to you by ALTBAYS.nz, a media support company that is in Whitianga and is ready to take you to the next level with your online content. So if you want to create videos, if you want to boost your presence with your brand, if you want to make your TikTok, Instagram, Facebook videos and stories better to reach more people, that's why we're here for, okay? And this show is happening in the ALTBAYS studio in Whitianga as well. So you can come and do your own thing here if you want to run your own podcast, if you want to have your show, if you want to do some online meetings. We're ready. Get in touch. ALTBAYS.nz and you find us. Okay, soon you're going to find out how to become a sponsor, a supporter, and a member of this platform, because we're doing this for the community. And then if the community gets together for a good cause, everybody wins. We lift everybody together, and then we look after the ones next to us. Okay? What a good day. I'm so relaxed today. It's such a good thing to be doing at a Friday night. I'm really enjoying how ALTBAYS is creating this thing of 7 p.m. and so many good feedback from the community. So shout out. Thank you. Tonight on my left,
Paea. Kia ora.
You should have some like big drop. Oh, sorry.
Have you got a big drop there, Taylor? Have you got
like a?
What have you got there for us, man? Try something.
Hey.
Paea. So, dropping the mic before we even start.
I need to take this off. Bam.
Yeah. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. How was the day?
Yeah, pretty sweet. Just pretty chill. Just working, doing some exercise. So.
Did you say you went for a run today?
Yeah, I went for a run. I just did I only ran for half an hour, which is pretty chill actually. So I want to start running for an hour, just so I can get my cardio back up. But
yeah. Do you try to increase the amount that you're running, how long you go, or you just kind of feel what your body's telling you to?
Yeah, I try to, because sometimes my feet, I get sore feet, and I'm I'm gonna stop running. I don't want to put too much pressure on my body. So
smart.
Yeah.
And now you can rest in the chair and just cruise and enjoy the chat with the legendary biggest New Zealand hip hop artist of all times, the GOAT, the teacher. Did you like that introduction? Mr. Tipene.
Hey, wow, the GOAT. I know,
That's a big one, eh?
Wow, yeah. I like goats. They're all right.
Keep the law tidy, helps us out. Yeah.
Yeah, no, hey, thank you for having me, first of all.
Thanks for coming.
And the ALTBAYS crew. What a buzzy space. Hey.
What do you think?
Well, I just think there's a lot of love, a lot of passion, a lot of vision gone into what you guys are doing. And you got the fire in the belly, so light those fires, bro.
Thanks, my man.
That's what I think.
Yeah. So we try to bring the people who's got the same fire and energy, to keep it all nice and in the right wavelength.
Sure.
So I'm glad you're here, man. So cool.
It's been a while, hey. We've been planning this for a bit, eh? Hey, we're here now. We're here now.
I'm glad we're doing it. Glad we're doing it. Boom, 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 boom.
Cue.
So, if I come,
my bro, get a second a minute, bro.
And on my right side, Mr. Taylor, he keeps his distance from the cameras, but
wow.
But without him,
this guy,
his old school radio background doesn't leave him. He keeps.
Yeah. Hey, bro.
He's ready. He's coming.
Hey, bro. Oh, that voice say, hey, what's up?
What's up?
What's happening? Oosh.
The boss. Thanks, Taylor. It's looking good, man.
Oh, thank you. You too, guys.
Tipene, if I come from Brazil today and then I arrive in New Zealand and then I find your music and I know nothing about you and then I bump into you and then I ask, man, who is Tipene, man? What does he do?
Oh, that's the prompt. Okay. I
It's
would
better
say
if you tell me about yourself than me trying to give you an introduction.
Yeah, got you, bro. Yeah, my name's Tipene Hama. I'm from the Hawke's Bay. Ngāti Kahungunu is my iwi. I'm a hip hop artist. Love hip hop. Been doing it for a few decades now. Still learning. Yeah, 3 things I'm passionate about, man, is obviously being creative, and through music and a bit of film stuff too, because you got to kind of have the music video buzz. Helping people is up there with oxygen for me, because it gives back. You know, when you give, it just keeps giving. So that's one of my other passions. And yeah, being Maori, you know, it's huge for me. It's like where the power comes from. Those, if I'm doing those things, I'm in that space. You would have heard of me in different areas, in schools and concerts and music, and I like to. That's where I like to be. Yeah, that's me. I got kids. we've got 5 all up. Yeah, and they I think they're our biggest teachers too. I learned heaps from kids. You know, because I'm kind of waiting for it's like a lolly scramble. You like wait for the little things and you start, because they remind us of ourselves, you know. Yeah. And because you know, when you get adult, you start thinking adult, and you start thinking about bills and all of that stuff that don't really matter.
And you age very quickly, right? In that process, you can if you're not careful. Yeah.
Totally. But yeah, a lot of my ideas I wouldn't even take credit for, in terms of, you know, like musical ideas have come from kids or experiences with my own kids. Yeah, so I'm just here by default.
Yeah. How old is the oldest? And
the oldest is actually 20. I want to say 23. I might be wrong. Might be 24 actually. Then there's 16. Then it goes to 10, and then 6. Sorry, and there's a 14-year-old somewhere in there.
Yeah, somewhere.
Yeah, sorry, that's real bad.
I promised Tipene that I wouldn't ask any hard questions, and I already.
Nah, because it's ages, because they just had recently just had birthdays. I'm like, I better not get this wrong, because if they watch, they'll be like, "Dad, you effed it up."
Yeah.
I was like, hey,
how hard it is. Well, I could tell by the ages, but how hard it is to keep on track of dates for you. Are you one of those guys who are
Yeah. I could say I am. Yeah, I'm a bit unorganized, but you know, point me in the right direction and I'll kill it. That's kind of like that. Yeah, put me on wherever I'm supposed to be, and you know, yeah, I'm a like turn up on a day, smack it over, dude, type of thing. You know, well, so far, gee, that might change, and I might be turning up and not smacking it over. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, but yeah,
it's happening right now, so that's good, right? It's still happening.
Thing, yeah, but the goal is to be a bit of a balance of both. Yeah,
mate. Yeah, I'm just gonna do something quickly because this is important. We got something special here tonight. Keeps our.
These mics are good, eh?
Yeah, man, they're mean.
Sheesh, I want one. How many of these mics you got, bro? Joking. Sorry to Paea.
So have a look at this. Can you see it from there? I don't even know if it's a good thing to do. Yeah.
Dang.
Kai time.
It looks ultra healthy, bro.
This is blue ginger, baby. Vegan treats.
There it is. Sheesh. Looks like I'm gonna get muscly eating that.
Oh man.
Wow.
We're going hard.
Ah.
Man, yeah.
How do they make the bao buns black? Is it like
a good question?
Food coloring, or is it like
fuzzy.
ink?
I'm not sure. We're gonna ask Bagsay or Stu.
Because I know they have like squid ink pasta or something that makes it black.
Blue ginger, man. They got some.
Yeah,
everything is pretty dope from there. Eh? Like I haven't heard of one thing that's not good. It's everything is like explosion of flavor.
Are those like the mushroom dumplings?
I think those ones there. Yeah. And they put some new stuff out, so like for the vegan menu. So I think we're.
Yeah, I haven't been there in ages.
We're good for tonight, man. Look at that.
Damn.
Shout out to Bags, to beautiful people from Blue Ginger. Woo, keeping us fed and happy. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Nice. Should we get
yeah.
pass me one of those
do you want a fork?
Let's go.
just going to do an ASMR real quick.
Yeah, I'm going to start with one of these ones here, just so we can get thing going.
Look at these.
Yeah.
Beautiful little things.
Taylor, you're welcome to come in. And there's some nice sauces there. I think they're part of the... Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, if you're cruising in Whitianga, if it's one of those days that you're looking for the good food, man, Blue Ginger, all right. I'll tell you something. Man, wow.
That looks like a scoopy spoon.
Yeah.
Boom.
Man, I think this one is the, she told me. I forgot. Wow, we're going to try all of them anyway, right?
Get it.
That's for sure. Ooh-wee. ASMR. For those ones who love some ASMR for food, you're gonna have some all right. That's for sure. Man. Anyway, while you guys have a bite, I'm just gonna say how cool this is for me, man. This is pretty awesome, you know, because I'm a rock and roll dude. I love punk rock, I love hardcore, and I've been listening to that for a long time. And then there was this Brazilian band called Plenty Hemp, and they were the first ones to bring awareness of the use of like hemp, you know, for a medicinal cause, and they were mixing rock and roll with hip hop. So they had that Beastie Boys element, huge in Brazil, huge, beautiful band. So I started to pay more attention to hip hop at that time when I was paying attention to those lyrics. So then I got into more like Brazilian hip hop, you know, but then I play the drums, so I listen to a lot of stuff nowadays, you know, but like hip hop has that thing of suiting most of the moments, you know, because sometimes rock and roll is kind of like, bah, you know, depending on where you're going. And I find so much pleasure in good hip hop. And man, I'm lucky enough that I lived with a great guy who you met, Paul, the bro who we were watching MMA once, the builder at Popas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Gave me this t-shirt, by the way, Psychedelic Bob. And yeah, and he was the guy kind of like bringing a lot of conscious rap to the table when we were living together.
Wow.
Taylor, Paul, and I for maybe 2 years, you know. And then you remember, right? When you came to town, I was like, oh, there's the bro. So like he was the guy pushing all this, not pushing, but introducing us to all this, this beautiful music. And one of the coolest memories that I have was getting to know more about KRS-One. Because I knew a little bit of, have you heard of this rapper, KRS-One?
No, who is that?
The teacher, man.
The teacher. So it's like the old school, classic hip hop artist, American.
Can I speak a little bit on?
Yes, please.
KRS-One.
Because then I say the connection why I'm telling the story. So now it's my time to eat, and then you go, and then I'll finish the story. I'll wrap it up.
KRS-One is the epitome of an MC. So you know, the master of ceremonies. He's the dude that taught us everything about emceeing in the early stages. You know, so the battle MC, the storytelling MC, the conscious MC. You know, dude ended a bunch of careers too in battles. He's just that dude. Like he has a class, man. Like he's a professor. Like he's a hip hop professor. That's kind of like his title. And he goes, you know, and his class is a real sort of. He raps the whole class. Yeah, he sits there and he rhymes everything. And it's like, what is he rhyming or is he trying to tell us something? No, he's doing both. And he's teaching you at the same time. So his classes are like pretty captivating type classes, you know? It's not like us like talking.
Yeah.
He's like,
what do you mean by classes? Does he take like...
Yeah, so he's like he's a hip hop scholar. So he lectures hip hop.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. So you know he's a KRS-One. Chris.
Where does he do his lectures? Or
I know he's from the Bronx. I don't know exactly where, but they're definitely universities. They're like up there. I don't know the names of them, but I've seen some of them and I've sat, you know, like while he's doing like online, you know, teaching, and he's freaking amazing. You learn so much about that dude.
How old is he?
Oh man,
50, I would say 50 something. Do you reckon?
Man, I reckon pushing 60, bro.
Pushing 68.
Oh,
'Cause he's been around for a long time.
You look at him, you won't believe that he's that he's that old school. Like really looks after himself. Yeah, a bit of obviously an activist.
Yeah. He's definitely. So when hip hop when it first started in the Bronx, those were the dudes that came out of it, you know, and he's still pretty supreme, and I think it's the acronym for KRS is knowledge reigns supreme.
Oh, I've heard that.
Yeah. That's that's the teacher. They call him the teacher, like that's his hip hop name. KRS-One, the teacher.
Has he made any? Does he like?
Yeah. He hasn't done a whole bunch of records, but I know that it's the sound of the police.
Oh yeah.
That's the sound of the beast.
Yeah.
That's probably the most sort of. He doesn't do commercial stuff on purpose.
Right.
But his stuff is so loud and the underground and the real hip hop circles. All the hip hop heads know who this dude is. He's like the dude, you know.
Did you get to see him live?
Nah, man. But I heard he came to Aotearoa, so he got a he came to Orake Marae.
Oh yeah.
In Auckland.
What was that? Was that for one of the?
Yeah, I think it was
the
a concert.
Waitangi or no?
I'm not sure what the gig was, but he was definitely here to perform. And he wanted to come on the boat, like we did. Like that's how native this dude is. He goes, I don't want to come on a plane. I want to come on a boat.
And I think there's even a thing, that like I don't know if he doesn't fly at all or he doesn't fly much. He always finds the way for his tours by boat.
Yeah,
That's cool.
but he knows about Maori. You know, he read up because he's the teacher.
Yeah.
Like, he goes, man, I wanna experience this the same way they came here. So they had a porphyry for him. I worked one, right? And there was all these hip hop heads in the room. J-Fu, DLT, all of them were all there. You know, and some of the newer rappers. And so they finished the whole formalities, done the whai kōrero, did the porphyry, did some, wāta tautoko. And he was just like, man, when it came for him to speak, he was just, damn, I've never felt anything like that before. This is this. He was just going hard, and he was just like,
yeah, it's like it's a different type of vibe, like being in a marae and like feeling all that energy.
And he was like, man, what is like this? This is amazing. This country, this culture, the Maori people, the singing, the vibe, and this was a mic drop moment, I reckon. And he says, look, this is hip hop. This is what we're talking. This is what we're trying to. This is what we lost, as African Americans. The culture. It was oppression and slavery and stuff that they went through in their whakapapa, and they started losing a lot of that. Where we haven't lost that in the same way they have. We're still quite in touch with it. So he's like, whoa, Buzzy. And then he said, straight after that, where's the hip hop? Where's this in the hip hop? I want to hear this. I don't want to hear
a copy of
people sounding like us over here. I want to hear this. This is amazing,
I think that's how like a lot of, I know for me, like you look at like a lot of people overseas and you want to try to sound like them because everybody's listening to that stuff.
True that.
But like, I think we do have like a really authentic sound, and even listening to your music, it's really cool being able to hear Maori in like a hip hop song and like expressed in that way. I reckon it's really cool. I think more people should be doing it.
Yeah, I think it's starting. I think it's starting to change.
Yeah.
Because the OGs did it. Upper Heart Posse, Damn Native, DLT, they all did it. Like 20 plus years ago. 96, there's the most legendary album. And if you haven't heard it, I encourage you to go and listen to it. It's called Kaupapa Rhymes. Kaupapa Driven Rhymes Uplifted. KDRU. Damn Native. Badass shit.
Yeah.
The bad. Sorry, will I say shit?
Anything
I just said it again.
Yeah, you can say it.
Anything, brother.
Yeah.
So free here.
So there's a song called Behold My Cool Style. And our Radio NZ just done this big series on all these artists and pivotal songs, man. Just YouTube it, Behold My Cool Style. and you'll learn about the song. The song changed everything.
I think I got the Scribe one at the episode because
this is the next series after that.
Right.
So they did Air 2, they did Upper Hut Posse Air 2. That's the one I think I might have introduced you to.
Yes.
Air 2 was the first hip hop song in the country. Air 2, stand proud, kia kaha, say it loud. You know, it was like 79.
Yeah.
You know, and there was no hip hop at all in Aotearoa at all. When these dudes came out and they started rapping, because they were a reggae group to begin with, like dancehall reggae. And yeah, they released the first rap song, and yeah, and then Damn Native followed that. And so I grew up listening to these dudes, and I was like, oh snap, that's mana, you know, because I always thought hip hop was only for American dudes, you know, because that's all we ever saw. Yeah. But when you saw a dude on there saying, behold my cool stars, while I greet the funk with my Maori, incredible, lyrical, and original, you know? And I must have been like, I was young anyway.
How old you reckon? Because I want to go there. I want to find out more about how music came to your life. If it was already running in the blood, in the family, or was something that you picked. So that's cool that you're telling about that first experience with hip hop.
I'm just trying to think, 96, I'd have been like 14 or 15. I was already sort of rhyming. Well, I thought I was rapping.
Well, you were working on it.
Early influences like Crisscross. It's the jump. You know, I see their songs on TikTok all over again, remixed and sped up. It's crack up.
I think that's like a lot of that is happening now these days. Like, there's no new music being made. It's just like
that's true.
Remixes of old ones.
That's true. Because there's something musical about those old songs. Oh, that's a whole nother subject. Yeah. But you're totally right there.
Yes.
The golden era. That's what's happened. It's the golden era. Everyone's trying to ride on the golden era, but the golden era has always be there. The 90s for hip hop anyway. But so yeah, I would have been like 14 or 15. They had an old show called RTR Countdown. It was hosted by a guy named Robert Rakite. He's like an old school TV personality. He's like one of the first brown faces I've seen on TV.
What's his name again?
Robert Rakite.
Is he still alive?
He's still around. Yeah,
bring the guy.
Sure. I'm pretty sure.
We'll get that name with you.
Robert Rakite, bro. He's like legendary and out when we're growing up, because Saturday morning, RTR Countdown used to come at like 10 o'clock, and we'll be just all like ready, man. Like the housework will be done. And we're sitting there because, you know, we don't want to get disturbed. You know, we have VCRs, man, where we used to like put the little bit of paper in the VCR so you can tape over it, man, and get bomb. You know, tape all over my sister's dumb music. And
Did you know about that? Did you know that trick? Can you break that down for us, for the new generation?
Yeah, it's like a thing, like to dub on tapes, even like a cassette tape's probably the easiest way to say it, is they had these two little notches in the top of a tape. You know, a tape would have been sort of like the size of this, maybe a little bit bigger. And there was these two little notches, and some clever person figured out if you could put a bit of paper in and block those notches up, you could actually tape over what was on that tape.
That's pretty cool.
It's a bit of a hack.
Yeah.
So that's what we were doing. We're just taping over, like grabbing some random dumb tapes they had. Yeah.
They're probably really important to somebody.
Probably like someone's wedding on it. And
yeah.
We just dub over with hip hop. Yeah.
Find Auntie's old Bolero collection.
Man, you know. And that was church, you know. So we sit there and watch all the latest stuff, you know, and it was all American, you know, it was all Young MC, all these older type dudes. This is before all the gangster stuff started popping off, before Snoop and all of that. Yeah. And then I saw this dude came on. It was like Maori as, and he was talking about Uromoko, and he was talking about, you know, Maui, you know. I was just like, what? You rewind, like, you know, after we finished dubbing the whole show, I go back and I just rewind and thrash that tape. I was just like, wow. And I think what happened to me, you know, I was like, we can do this. We can do this hip hop thing.
That's it.
And we sound cool. Cooler than them, I reckon, you know, like, because we've been ourselves.
The power of relating to something, you know, like when you're a musician and you go hard on the discipline, you get to understand and try to play a lot of complicated stuff you know, but you gotta get the things that are achievable. That's why I was saying, like, I connected with punk rock and hardcore because I realized it was something that I could play, you know, like it was something that made sense. So when I started to listen to hip hop, I was like, man, if you're into that vibe of rhyming and stuff, you feel empowered. You feel like, I can do this. It's a beat. And you throw your stuff, you know, like, I can give that a go. You know, like, blah, 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 complicated, you know, like straight to the point. So I understand how hip hop is powerful,
right. And when they're saying something in it, and you're just like, oh man, I know what he's saying. I think I know what he's saying because I've seen that. You know, I've seen some of these things that these peeps are talking about, like, you know, police brutality and like, you know, being, you know, racism and all these sort of conscious messages started coming out and sort of being singled out and the system doesn't fit for you. And I'm just like, yo, yeah. And then you start, you relate, you relate to that. The orators, man. But I was like, yeah, we can relate to some of the stuff. But I was like, if we had our own orators, you know, we'll be able to relate to every single thing. We should be able to if they're telling the truth, you know? And and Damn Native was that for me to begin with. And then I sort of grew from there.
I like the push and pulls of this conversation, so I'm just going to take it to places and come back.
Let's do it.
You said that there was a bit of a dip. You said that there was this peak of like this great hip hop Maori artists, people singing Maori, and then it felt like there was a dip, and then you said, oh, now it feels like it's coming back again.
Oh yeah.
Why do you think there was a dip, and what was the dip about? Why do you feel like that, and what was the evidence of like, where is it?
I think it's what Paea was saying earlier. Everyone was trying to sound like something that sounded cool. Sounding like, you know, like they want to be successful, you know, what's your idea of success? Getting some radio play. So we've got to make songs that sound like good on the radio. And, you know, I didn't think it was anybody's sort of, it was just because it started commercializing, you know, because hip hop is hip hop, you know, it grew from the people and struggle and all of those things. But when it started becoming, you know, a business, people were kind of like, I got to have that product, you know, for the business. And if you can do it, well, why not do it, you know? And I think it got a bit lost, you know, because even our artists started sounding like they weren't from here. You wouldn't know unless they said where they were from, like, you know, South Auckland or Wellington or Christchurch. Until they said that, you were like, oh, true shit. Wow, I wouldn't have pinned that. But there was a lot of that, you know, trying to fit in, I guess, you know, to a hip hop culture that we thought we had to be like the people that created it.
Yeah, sometimes I think people aren't even actually saying anything when they're singing or like when they're rapping, which is like the hardest part. Like listening to music on the radio, like everything just sounds the same. And like I feel like people find it harder to actually talk about real topics and real problems.
Straight up. I'm with you 100% there.
I think people just sometimes they don't want to listen to that. Or maybe people are finding it hard to express.
Yeah, probably all of those things. But at the same time, there's music just for fun, you know, there's music just for getting litty. Yeah. You know, and all of that, you know, and smoking weed and, you know, driving in your car, I guess, you know. Cool. But you know, when we're talking about hip hop, you know, reggae does it really well. I think, you know, a lot of the rootsy reggae, you know, the herbs and, you know, Catch a Fire, they're talking about things that from the heart, you know, like that mama song, you know, Catch a Fire. Yeah. Oh, talks about how he loves his mama and thank you, man. Like I wouldn't be here without just I'm like, bruh, that's what's up. Yeah. Yeah. Speak some we like that because we can connect with that, you know, as well, people, really. Because this isn't America, man. We're far from it. Actually, I've been to America and I stayed there for about a month in the Bronx.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and like, not to be a rapper. I wasn't going to go out and get rapped. I might get shot. I was like, I was just there. I just went there because this hip-hop culture captured me, and I wanted to know where it came from. You know, the whakapapa of that hip-hop. Mm-hmm. So I went to the Bronx, and I stayed there and just walked around. You know?
What did you learn? Like, what did you think about it?
at first, you know, you get that honeymoon phase. It's just like, buildings.
Big.
I nearly got run over like 2 or 3 times just looking like, oh, damn, and then beep, fuck, you know, like, because they're ruthless, man, you know, like, but those yellow taxis and that, they're real. Over. They're everywhere. They're just ruthless. Like, they don't care, man. They're just trying to make their dollar.
Yes.
You know, there's no backup plan, you know, like there's no health system, there's no nothing. Yeah. There's no wins. There's none of that, you know. If you don't make no money, you'll suffer, you know. That's it. Check, boom. So, what did I learn? That we got it really good here. What did I learn? Is that what Aotearoa is for us is you know, like I felt for these people, you know. Because, like, you know, these are train goes through everywhere, you know, like right through Manhattan, right through all of those places. And they're only like sort of 5-6 minutes from each other. You jump off. It's just skyscrapers and dudes with suits. And you're just like, damn, this is like ultra flash. And you have a 2-minute ride. You jump out of Harlem and it's just the pits. And you're just like, what the hell? These people like lying all over the ground starving, man. You know, and you're just like, what's going on here? Like, there's no middle ground. It's just either you're cracking it or you're suffering big time, you know. Yeah. And I was just like, there's no aroha in this place. I've seen people kick people out of the way, and like, you know, people like wanting something to eat. And I had to. Here's a. Here
we go.
Here's a story,
man.
Another
bite.
So when we got off the train, we came from Canada. It was like a crazy 18-hour train ride. Ooh. And only because some people got booted off at the border. They're like trying to slide over and then got the chop and holding onto the pole and bruv, I was just like,
no, that's probably not funny.
It's not because, you know, it was just a baby. No baby that was there and was freaking out. You know, oh man, that was like, we were just like, damn. Anyway, and we got there and we were like full starving because we had the wrong currency. I didn't realize that's just like amateur move. Like when you go into a different country, you need different money. You can't just like give them Canadian money and they'll be like,
what's that?
You got any money? I'm like, yo, I got money. Like real money. Hey. So here we starved on that train. We had like 3 packets of chips. And we were like, bro, like 18 hours straight. I was just like, man, I need some food. Anyway, we got there at like 1 o'clock in the morning to the Bronx. I was buzzing because it was just lights everywhere. And the McDonald's was open and the Subway. So I was like, oh, yo, that's us. We're in there. I grabbed like 5 burgers. Just like started munching them back. And my partner at the time she didn't like gherkins, right? So, you know, what she do? She grabbed the gherkins and started throwing them in the bin. Oh, there was like about 4 homeless people just looking at these gherkins, like, boom, and they looked at each other like, boom, and they just went in there and like started like picking each other like seagulls, you know, like when you throw chips and we were just like, damn, we got to be onto it here. I just said, just give them a burger, we can get another one, you know, we had money.
Yeah.
So we just gave them the burgers and just carried on, you know. I was just like, damn, I really wanted those burgers, but we had to realize real quick where we were and stop being fun-loving Maori people. They just want to help everybody because you get jacked, you know. And I was just like, damn, I was told about this, and it happened as soon as we jumped off the train. So I was like, yo, you can't look weak, you know. You can't look vulnerable. We were in the hood where it was like high Mexican Latino population, Fat Joe's hood. J-Lo's hood, apparently. I was like, yo. But you are past 4 Mexican. So, you know, that if you ain't black and you ain't white, you must be...
Yeah, Latino.
Yeah.
You're brown.
So they were like, oh, you know, they were speaking like hard out Latino. I was just like... You know, and I felt big going over there because a lot of them were quite little. Yeah, and I was
so
like...
they respect you anyway.
Like, oh, yo, look at this big... Yo, look at this dude, man. He's like huge, man. And I was like, trying not to say nothing, because as soon as you say something, bro, they'll be like, hey,
you're not one of us.
Man, where you from, man? Yeah. And there was one part where I had to, when I went to a shop, and I had to talk because like I wanted something in particular. Yeah, and bus blew my cover. Blew my cover big time. They couldn't even understand what I was saying.
Really, man?
Yeah, apparently I talk fast, yeah. And I was like, oh. And just the whole accent, they were just like, they're just like calling more people over, just like, can you say that again, man? Can you say that? You know, and I was just like, oh, where you from, man? I was like, oh, New Zealand. Naive as hell. They were like, what's that, like New Jersey? California?
Because
like,
in America, they always say the states, like that they're from. It's even here. You meet an American, they usually don't say the USA. They say the states where they're from.
They had no idea. They had no idea where New Zealand was. And I was like, man, I had to think real quick because I was like, you know where Australia is?
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, and they were like, yeah. I was like, oh, yeah, we're next to those guys, just like down in the way down. And I actually talked about rugby because that was the only thing I could think of. Yeah. They didn't play rugby. Right, at the time, they didn't play rugby. This was like a couple years after the Twin Towers got popped.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's like 05.
Was it 2, 3?
Yeah. I was there in 05. And it was just, that was experiences. So. But yeah, they were just like, I talked about rugby and they were just like, well, what's that, man? Like, what's rugby? They had no idea. I was like, I was running out of ideas. And I was like, I just seen an All Blacks game before I came over, and this Jonah Lomu was like rolling everyone, and I was just like, do you fellas know Jonah Lomu? And they were like, yo, the big guy. And I was like,
guy,
yeah, big fast. Oh man, that guy, you know him? And I was like, yo, but that's my cousin.
That's my cousin.
But I legit said that because I was like failing big time, and everyone was just like, bruh, this dude needs to get out of our shop. and as soon as I said I was related to him, they were like, oh, yo, and they gave me some free stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, man, are y'all big like that over there? Because what I found out at the time, he was getting drafted to the, he got an offer from the Dallas Cowboys, I think it was.
Serious?
To play in.
Jonah Lomu?
Yeah. Well, imagine him as a running back.
Yeah, why didn't he?
Well, his dream was to be an All Black.
I never thought about that, Tipene. So
dream bigger. There's under the Cowboys. He would have been getting paid heaps if he went over there.
It was the first multi-million-dollar deal in this anything to do with an athlete from here.
Why? Like, he just didn't want to do it? Or?
His heart was set on being an All Black.
Was he not an All Black?
Yeah. But he didn't care about anything else. He grew up wanting to be an All Black. That was the greatest honor for him. And plus the family thing. And
right.
He just said, like, I remember seeing him in an interview, he just says, look, my heart's not in it. Yeah, I'll probably do well, but it's not about money. And everyone was like, hey. Like, he got the first multi-million-dollar deal and he turned it down. He said, I want to play for the All Blacks. I was like, all right.
Good on him, I guess.
But, yeah, I mean, he did what was in his heart, you know? And that's what we're talking about hip-hop, right?
Yeah.
Do what's in your heart. Don't follow the money,
sure.
y'all. Tipene was already like,
be an All Black.
Take the money, man. I'll take the money. But, yeah,
great.
That's the buzz. So, yeah, so they knew him. So I saw some ads of him. They were, like, American ads saying, you know, watching his, like, 95 World Cup where he just, like, killed everyone.
Yeah.
And they were like, you know, the Dallas Cowboys put this big offer up, and it was kind of a hot topic. So, man, I was out of jail big time when I see Jonah Lomu, because they were like, yo, we know Jonah Lomu. Well, I didn't say yo, but, you know, but that's like a us thing. But, yeah, anyway, yeah, so my experience there, I came home. I couldn't wait to come home.
Right.
I thought I'd be like, yeah, man, I want to live here. I want to do rapping. I want to rap here. I want to, you know, but I was just like, man.
Where was your career at that time?
I was just doing nothing big. I was doing like a couple of like local stuff, festivals. Yep. I mean local, I mean Hastings local, not local to New Zealand. I had no music out. I was just kind of like, if I'm going to do this hip hop thing, I want to really know about it. You know, I want to really experience it. Not so much know everything, because I think that happens in the journey. But I was like, is this for me? You know, I want to feel it. And I was like, yeah, I know why. I know what I'm going to rap about. I know what my kaupapa is. I know what my direction is from here. I was already sort of doing that, but it was just one of those things I wanted to go to where hip hop started.
Did you have any like just ordinary jobs to maintain the music thing? How was that? Take us back maybe to starting to work, understanding the music thing and the investments of time and money and energy.
Oh man, I worked in the freezing works for 15 years.
At the
and as a butcher, as a
butt.
Yeah, man, like and the freezing works they call it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
When
pretty
did
much
you start working?
when.
Yeah.
I started when I was 15. I was still at school, but I worked in the apple sheds for ages, like maybe 3 years. Because, well, you know, the family situation was quite messy, so I had to find ways to support myself, you know. So yeah, working. You know, my old man always encouraged us to go work, and you know, he taught me how to work. You know, like pretty much just don't stop. You know, you stop, you stop for a cup of tea, and then you go again. That's it. You know, and he always says when the going gets tough, the tough get going. So, you know, hey, when things get hard, you know, only the tough ones will keep going. The other ones will do whatever they do. You know, I didn't want to be the other one.
Did you finish school?
Yeah, I finished school. So I worked sort of 3 years before finishing. Like, on my last 3 years of school, I had a job.
Yeah. Did you find that hard to, like, manage school and job?
So, yeah, hard out. I got 13 siblings.
Holy hell.
Yeah, I know, right? And it's kind of like bit of a blended one. So my dad had 5, him and my mum had 4 together, and then my mum moved on and had another 4. So I was like, wow, you know, the house was always chocker.
Yeah.
But up to me, no one had it finished school. I'm like 8th or 9th in there, 7th.
Were you good at school? Were you following the system in a way that it was considered?
What do you reckon?
No, I'm kidding.
I reckon you were like not horrible. It was not your thing.
Nice.
It was not your thing. It was not your thing.
You're not horrible.
I can tell that it was not your thing, I would say.
Yeah.
But I think you were kind of like, you paid attention to the things that it was interesting.
Yeah.
You were interested in. Is there? Did you find value in some, like maybe a role model, a teacher, or a subject that you were like, this is actually good for me?
Yeah, well, I had a teacher that looked like Wolverine. Yeah.
That always helps.
That's an inspiration,
I was
right?
just
That
like-
makes you want to go to school.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
He was my English teacher. He had the hair and he had like the slow, like he had the eyebrows, everything. And I was just like, yo, my teacher's Wolverine. Yeah. Whatever he said, I was just like, he's gonna flick those claws out any minute now. I leave the class with me.
What was his name, bro?
Mr. Gill.
Gil.
Mr. Gill. I think
Mr.
he's
Gill.
still teaching.
Shout out to Mr. Gill.
Yeah, he had
the
the
guy
spike.
sings well, man. His English is not that bad, I must say.
He said to me, this stuck with me, you know. School was a blur. It was a bit of a struggle. I wasn't academic by any means. I just wanted to make my family proud, you know. I wanted to finish something I started, you know, because we're good at starting stuff, but we don't finish things very well, you know. It's kind of like a habit, and I wanted to break that. So I was like, well, there's no excuse. There's only really me I have to battle, you know. And, well, everything else around me, but, you know, you deal with that. My English teacher told me, he goes, how do you get good at something? I'm going to ask you that. How do you get good at something?
You first, Tipene.
Just keep doing it. Don't stop.
Keep doing it. Well, that's part of it.
It's part of it.
This is how
Yeah.
this is I see it something
Okay.
similar.
Yeah.
He goes, oh, yeah, keep going.
Staying interested and understanding that it takes maybe repetition and time.
I was 14. I didn't
you
have
wouldn't
none
go
of
that
that.
way, eh? Wouldn't
None of that.
go. I wouldn't have that either.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I
I didn't think with my 14-year-old head. Sorry.
Yeah. So, that was very articulate. Not even close. I was just like, well, practice, isn't it?
Practice, yeah.
You know,
Repetition,
because you practice something, you get good. And he goes, well, that's half of it. I was like, oh, I'm sure this dude's just trying to bum me out.
Yeah,
you know, I was
that
just
was
like,
like,
Wolverine, or you got claws,
yeah.
and then you're great at
Yeah.
stuff.
So I was like, oh yeah, so what is it then? You know,
Yeah, what is
since
it?
you know so much, what is it? And he said, all right, repeat after me. I'm gonna ask you to do the same. Perfect practice
Perfect practice
makes perfect.
makes perfect.
I've heard that before.
And I was just like, what do you mean perfect practice? You're just trying to like say more perfects than me. Practice makes perfect, man. You know, and he's just like, if you practice the wrong thing, you just get good at fucking it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, or the wrong way.
Right?
Definitely.
And you would know that with the martial arts
Yeah, yeah.
background and all of that. if you practice the wrong thing, we know this in life now because we're like adults and stuff, you know. But when you're 14, you're like, perfect practice makes perfect. I was like, you're a nerd, bro. Like, you know?
Get out of here.
I expected more from you, Wolverine.
Yeah, I was just like, man, I thought you were just gonna say, just chop everyone in your way. Yeah. Anyway, perfect practice makes perfect. I was like, about 10 years later, it started clicking. Honestly, probably about 15. But that thing has sort of stayed in my mind the whole way, and I was like, well, if I'm gonna do anything well, I need to practice the right things. You know, otherwise, you know, it's not going to be tika. It's not going to end up the way you need it to be. You know, if you put the wrong thing in the cake, it's going to F the cake up. Yeah. It's going to taste yuck, you know. You put salt in the Milo instead of sugar, bruh.
Don't eat that.
Because, you know, you better put that back down the sink. So, you know, what I learned from him, I still apply it now, you know. He taught me something. That's probably one of the most stickable moments that happened in the schooling life, because I was, this is a funny story, right? I was going to leave in my, what's the year, was it now? Year 12, second to last year. Year 13 is the last one, eh?
Yeah.
So sixth form, year 12, I was going to leave because I got offered an apprenticeship as a builder. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to take it because I need to earn some money. Plus, I like building. I still do.
Nice.
Yeah, so anyway, my the dean rang me up and she said, I want to talk to you about next year coming back to school. And I was like, oh, no, I'm not coming back. That's me. I'm like, out.
I'm over.
That's
done.
it. You know, I'm independent. I got a car.
I'm grown now. No.
I got a car, man, even though it's a heat. You know, it's still mine. And I got to learn his license, man. I'm out. I'm independent now. I got it worked out. Anyway, she's like, we've had a talk with the staff and all the students could vote. And you're one of the top runners for head boy. I was like, what?
Whoa.
Wow.
Head boy. We used to call it head homo, right? Because everyone that was a head boy was like these brainy, nerdy guys that never said anything, never turned up to leadership thing, didn't play rugby. And I was just like, how did you get head boy? Oh, you're brainy. You know, that's 15, 16-year-old head just going, yeah, no, those fellas are just nerds. So I talked to my mates, you know, we were on having the beers one night, and I was like, oh, yeah.
Did you vote on purpose for me to stay, motherfucker? Did you?
I just said, you know, Miss Rawlings asked me to be head homo next year, and they were like, and I laughed. They didn't laugh.
Yeah.
Because they knew.
No, they were like, are you gonna do it? I'm like, what? They go, are you gonna do it? You should do it. I was like, bro, why would I do it? And they were like, because none of us have been up there, you know? None of us have done that before. It's always been the brainy calculus fellas. You'll be the first one that does that. You know, we'll got your back. And I was like, I thought they were just going to laugh and we're going to have beer and then not even mention it again. So I went and told my mum, and she was just like, well, do what you want to do. As a mum would say, I'm like, I want you to give me an answer, man.
Yeah,
like,
tell me what to do.
Tell me what to do. And she was like, well, look, you know, I left school at about 13. Yeah. Actually, I never went. You know, I was like,
It was never
so my
there.
schooling experience is not really going to be anything helpful for you. Yep. And although she made the best life she could for us, she says, look, what do you want to do? And I was like, well, I got an apprenticeship. And she goes, well, can you do that anytime? I said, well, yeah. She goes, can you be head boy anytime? I'm like, no. You get one chance at that.
There you go.
And she goes, well, up to you. I was like,
On the inside, she was telling you to do it, though.
Yeah.
Well, she was
basically just told you to
way
say
of putting it. Nice
well, she was
way
just
of putting
like
it.
sort
Nice
of
way.
presenting the facts,
The
you know,
facts,
like.
yeah. Because people see from a different perspective, right? That's the thing. When it's in front of you, when it's your life, sometimes you cannot see the whole thing. And sometimes you need a friend, a family member, not to tell you what to do, but give you that perspective, give you that different look on the thing. So good on mom.
Yeah, well, you know, and you had to accept the offer for them to even put you in the running for it, because they still hadn't decided who was going to be that. But like head prefix, we called it. And there's a group. Anyway, I was like, I thought about it for a while, and then they go, oh, bro, the leadership camp, you fellas are heading up Mount Ruapehu, and you get to stay out there, and And I was like,
Oh yeah, I'll do it now.
Well, I'm not really doing anything, so y'all come. And then you know, I started thinking about like I could actually be a leader. I could actually help, you know. I remember being a third form, turning up to school and just getting straight bullied and like, oh man, you got to run it up to the seniors and getting smashed and just like, just it was a nightmare as a the first couple of years in college. So I was like, man, I could change that. I could change that. You know?
So how much of a nightmare was when you were younger? How, like, when you say a nightmare, like what kind of bullying and what?
Yeah, a lot of it I found out later. Like when I was going through it, I just didn't understand it. You know, there was, you know, it was all physical. It was just like, oh, you know, you stole my pen, motherfucker. You know, like, let's have a fight after school. It was just like that, something real cabbage like that. And then you'll be in a circle and having a fight and type of thing. But what I realized is, you know, after you fight with someone, you end up becoming like friends with them. You know, you come close. I don't even know how that happens, but
I think it's like a respect that you have for them.
Probably, yeah. So when you have like, you know, jab each other up and you're just like, fuck, you're all good, you know.
Yeah, all good.
You're tough G, you know, like, we're like,
fuck,
what are you doing after school? Fuck, come over my house, bro.
Come
have some raru. You know, we're like, yo, safe. And then, roll up.
And if it's a tradition that it keeps happening, it's just how it is, how you build that trust. You know what you know, right? You go for that,
What I found out later, you know, being close with these guys that did a lot of bullying, is that we're getting bullied at home.
Yeah, man.
Like I remember my bro, like this quick story. The bro stole $50 from his mom. And he said he'll put it back, and I'm like, how, bro? You're at school, you ain't $50 is a lot of money, man.
You got a job?
Anyway, he was like grabbing all this food, and this dude's like, Puha, where you get this money? I was immediately like, gee, where did you get this from? And he's like, all good. Yeah, my mum, she's all good. You know, I was like, bro, I know, nah, man, like, I'm not eating any of this. He's like, bro, have it. And it was like hot pie, and I was like, oh, man, that looks on.
Oh, that would have been hard.
I had something to eat. Because I was freezing, and I was just like, oh, man, shit. And then, I'll pay you back, bro, Anyway, we went back to his house. And he goes, oh, just wait here, bro. I'm just going to go and grab my shoes. Like, oh, yeah, sweet, get changed. And he opened the door, and I was just standing outside the door, and then, boom, he got punched back out of the door. Whoa. And he just went flying. His mum was tough. Like, I was just like, you little, boom. And then he just like, boof. And he was just out, he did a roly-poly, smashed into the mailbox, and I was just like.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll see you later.
Yeah. Oh. Are you all right? Are you all right?
Are you all good?
It's like someone asking someone after they had a baby, are you all right? Like, bro,
no, I'm not all good.
I'm effed up, bro.
Yeah, but
like,
what do you say to someone when they've just, you know?
Yeah. Well, and his mum just said, go home. He won't be at school for a few days. I was just like, oh, yeah, all good. I'm not. Yeah, so.
Would you guys go a lot to your mate's house?
Yeah.
Was it a big normal thing?
Totally,
like going for a meal, catching up, like calling the mom of your friends, like auntie or something? Was that? Yeah.
Oh, that, bro, you know, the hood aunties, uncles. Everyone's your auntie that feeds you.
Yeah, anyone.
Hey, if they cook a feed, auntie.
Auntie, uncle, cousin, brother.
If they drop you off somewhere, auntie. You know, if you have to do their laundry, auntie. But, you know, it was the way we the hood brought us up. Did you have all the mates at school who had the thing for music? Who had the net?
Nah,
bro, this is funny because I actually got booted out of music.
Hey.
I didn't do any music in school whatsoever. Oh, we did kapa haka. But that was something that was kind of compulsory, you know, because I was at a Kura school, which is a Maori school. And we did kapa haka every day. And those songs that I learned way back, you know, before I even touched intermediate, were the ones I still know really well now, you know. They were great teachers. But when we got to high school, it wasn't really cool anymore. It was like, kapa haka wasn't cool. Mm. I jumped in the music class, and I think we were learning how to play, might have been the clarinet, something like that.
Recorder?
Bro. Yeah. You're a music teacher, man, so you know, so right, you got 20 people with a recorder.
Chaos.
Playing it.
It never works.
Terribly.
It never works.
Right, and I was just like getting the mad migraines, and I was just like, man, F this class, like I'm out.
You hard.
You know, I had no patience for it. And they were like, oh, you get one more chance. And then we were, bro. We were that bad. This particular class had the wackest timing. They gave us triangles, bro.
Hey,
we're playing a triangle.
What
you
a
know?
mix.
Like you can't mess a triangle up.
But you did.
Bro, and that's like a pinging ass sound, eh?
Yeah.
You know, when you're in a class and you just hear them just like, oh, what is this? And you get it, they'll ho tutu, you just want to bang stuff. Then they're like throwing like frisbees, and I'm like, bro, this class is whack.
Any Maori instruments?
But we didn't. But I was in there for like probably 2 weeks, and I got like the ultimate chop from music. So I wasn't allowed back in there like my whole schooling.
Oh, serious?
Yeah, hard. Well, I actually broke a guitar.
I was wondering, that was probably a story behind.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
You started, man.
I wasn't like the ideal student, man. I don't think I was horrible. I was definitely impatient.
I was right. See, there you go.
When you don't get a lot of sleep at home because things are all messed up, you go to school quite grumpy, you know. And I was just like, frick. So I didn't really, you know, and Kai, you know, sometimes Kai came and went, and you know, when you're feeding a party of drunk people, you know, your Kai gets smashed in like one night. And you sort of go to school and you're like, damn, man, I'm like starving as, like, where's the bros with the money? But, you know, sometimes you just have those real bad days, you know? Yeah. You know, you have like that kind of ankle taps you right through the week, you know, if you start off real bad. And some of those things I just didn't really deal with that good. I probably could have did a lot better, but I didn't hurt anyone, you know, I know that. I didn't hurt anyone, maybe psychologically hurt some people, but not physically, you know, and yeah. So I ended up not doing those classes. I did like woodwork, and you know I was good with building stuff, and that's why the building thing came a thing.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm not formal trained at all. Can't read music to this day. Yeah.
You got the soul. You got the rhythm.
Yeah.
You got the beats on you.
Yeah,
which
well,
helps,
something
right?
like that.
Which
yeah.
helps a lot, right?
Yeah, I think so. And because you know everyone's got a story. Everyone's got a story. So, you know, I started writing about what was happening. Maths was probably the least favorite class. I went to it all the way through, though. I tried my best in maths. But
was that because you were a teacher or because you just didn't like maths?
Yeah, my teacher was racist as.
Serious?
Ultra.
Lady or was it a guy?
His name was Mr. Baker. I'm going to shout him out. Because there's a lot of kids that I've met that have left that particular kuta that came to me saying that, you know, like, man, I would have did this if my teacher wasn't such a racist fellow. I was like, oh, who's your teacher? Oh, you won't know him. And I'm like, I might. Mr. Baker, brah. What still the hell?
Yeah.
He's still there, still doing that, still wearing boat shoes, still wearing those boring ass glasses and stuff with a stink ass haircut. Is that the guy? And they're like, all of the above, G. I'm like, wow, he's still there? Damn. Anyway, quick story. I didn't really get the maths. And he used to say, well, sit with the brownies in the back. Just go sit with the brownies in the back.
Oh,
you know?
wait.
The brownies in the
Come
back.
on, Mr.
Like,
Baker.
Bruh,
Come on, man.
I was like, I was going to smash those glasses one day, bro.
It
was like stirring us big time. And I had a couple of island mates, and they were real like placid as, like, oh no, still dope, you know, it's all good, Uzi. He doesn't know what he's doing. I'm like, bruh, he knows exactly what he's doing. I was like looking for something to like whack on the dude, but
just use your hand.
I found a way. Not because I can say I didn't hit him. You know, I had to be clever about it. The ruler hit you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just threw it at you.
But
near you.
Obviously those thoughts came in my mind, and I started getting a bit frustrated with just the whole idea of trying to do something challenging. It wasn't even, maybe not even the work that was challenging. It was the barrier I had. Yep. Anyway, I used to write raps in my maths book. Mean as title page.
There you go.
Maths, boom, bang, boom, artistic ass.
Oh yeah, I remember the title pages.
Yeah.
As it mean.
Well, I went hard on those. I was like into it. Mean title page, had the date. That's about it, you know. And then in the back, I used to write raps just to try not to be a dick in class, try not to disturb the class. And I was like, man, I'm just gonna write raps. Yeah, sweet. So I started filling this book up with raps, and he just left me alone. I was like, sweet. One day he wanted to pick on me, right? So he's like, Mr. Harmer, what are you doing? What's what? You know, how? Well, show me your work. You know, I was like, oh no, all good, Mister. You know, those ones.
You're not all good.
Oh no, all good, Mister.
He's got it though.
Yeah. Now the bro knows. Hey, bro. And he's like, oh, gee, I don't know. I'm like, oh, come on, man. What are you doing, bro? Anyway, he said, I said, I'm writing raps. He was like, raps? Where's that going to get you? You know? Like, he confronted me. He says, where do you think writing raps is going to get you in life?
Look at me now.
Look at me now, bitch.
Well, at the time, I was like, I actually didn't know. You know, I was like, shit, I don't know.
Well, I guess that's what he wanted.
Kind of thing, yeah. Because I didn't know. I just did it because I felt good. Anyway, yeah, and he said, so what kind of jobs you going to get with that? And I still didn't know. I was like, bro, I don't know, but I enjoy it. And he goes, oh, why don't you share one of your raps with me? You know, why don't you just share it with all of us? And I was just like, this motherfucker. And I was like, nah, we'll go down, Mister. You know, and he was just like, no, come on, I want to hear it. And he like just kept going. The whole class was just like looking back those ones, eh?
Yeah.
He's like, he's got to do it now.
And I was right at the back of the class, so the whole class was like, and I was like, shit, this was putting me on the spot. And I just said, yeah, and I just kind of like spazzed out a bit, took my book and I F this class, you know, rolled out, and he was like, that's what I thought. Anyway, Buzzy, right? So this is the other part of the story. A couple years later, right, when I left school, about 10 years actually, West Side Hori dropped, right? And it was just everywhere. It was all over the TVs, all over the radios. Everyone was like, yeah, West Side and all of that. And the school said, hey, man, that's where I got my first nomination for the APRA Silver Scroll, was for West Side Hori. I didn't even know what a Silver Scroll was. And I was like, oh, bro, you're in the finalists for the Silver Scroll. I was like, what? Why are they called the Golden Scroll? You know, like, because the silver's like second, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, bro, no.
It rhymes.
The Silver Scroll, I was like, is that like second place or?
Yeah.
Or for what? And they were like songwriters, like, oh yeah, like other rappers, and they're like, nah, G, like right across every single genre.
Songwriters.
That's pop, that's reggae, that's any song ever written in the country at the time. I was like, straight up. Anyway, the school got a hold of it, and they were like, hey, we want you to come back and perform for the school. I was like, shh, I'm doing that. Rolled up to the school, saw Mr. Baker. I was like, what's up, Bo? And he was like, Mr. Anyway, I rocked the house. And everyone knew all the words and stuff, and I was doing those ones. And then they all just stood up. I was like, oh, mister, is it all good if they just stand up? And they were like, yeah, go hard. And then everyone was going crazy, and all the teachers were like, oh, no, I gotta go join them. Yeah. But I knew some of the teachers anyway, so they were all good with it. We rocked the house, man. And I saw Mr. Baker there, and he was just standing there, the only one not moving.
Of course.
And I was like, I had to plan this moment in my head. And I was like, man, I see this dude, I'm gonna rub it in his face so bad. I'm like, hit him in his glasses and what?
You hit me with the music, bro. You hit him with the music, bro. You did it even better.
But I tell you what, it didn't matter. Like, I actually had nothing towards him because I was
Good
like...
on you, man. Fuck yeah.
I looked at him and I was like, maybe you motivated me, bro.
Yes.
You know? Maybe you were the thing that I needed. Just a bit of hate to fuel me to just make sure that I followed through with this. And he wasn't the only one, but he was kind of like the first significant one.
Yeah. Man, it's that power of turning the shit that we get into compost, eh?
Shit.
Into doing something smart with it, eh? Because we're gonna get it all the time in life, eh?
Yeah.
But if you take that punch, it only hurts you, right?
Straight up.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, like, I saw so many people that song was helping. You know, like, they were just like ultra proud. Like, bro, you're from us. Like, you know, the principal was like, wow, I didn't see that coming, but.
So man, just before we talk about the importance of this song, which is a pretty cool thing that I wanna touch it there, but like, we have a cool number of like international people watching, you know, like people from other countries.
Oh yeah.
What is APRA in few words, just to make it quick and easy? What is APRA, and what is the silver?
So APRA is like the people that protect your copyrights for your music. So when it's an Australasian company, APRA is only Australasia, so you know this part of the globe. And if you've written an original piece of music, you register it with them, And then if someone wants to play it, like a radio station or the TV or even the cafe now, play it in public, they have to pay a royalty to the songwriter. And APRA is the ones that goes, hey, you play Tipene songs, 382 songs times, and that song's worth this much per time. Ho mai te putia, we'll give it straight to him.
Do you know if there are different prices for different artists? Do you know how that works?
Nah, it's to do with who plays it.
Ah, right.
Yeah, so
right.
big popular stations like More FM or what's the...
So do you get paid every time they play the song?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, eh?
Yeah. So different radio stations have different prices.
Yeah.
I know if you get on things like Classic Hits is like only plays Classic Hits. If you get rotation on that, man, it can go up to like $20-30 a play.
Oh, wow.
Straight up,
Did you say 20?
Yeah, I've heard it to be that high. Probably higher now. Like this is, I'm kind of not really in the radio game. My head's not really in that. But I know that if you have a new song like LAB, they play like
pays better than Spotify.
But then you have The Breeze, The Rock, My FM, Flavor, New FM, all these FMs jamming your tunes, bruh.
Yeah.
You get a nice quarterly payment.
Yeah.
So every year, like quarterly So it just comes to your bank account.
Man.
So APRA, these dudes that protect songwriters.
However, that doesn't count online platforms, right? Or does it? So like Spotify, Apple Music. Do you know the connection? Really?
Yeah.
So you get paid for the Spotify play and also for the
live performances as well.
So that's bad. That's good to hear, because we always hear musicians, especially internationally, giving shit to Spotify and these platforms. So there's a link that APRA protects.
Usually the syncing, if your song gets synced, like one of my songs went on like a TV program, it was like a theme song for. Have you seen Kura? It's on TV on demand. It's Papa Kura. It's like this.
Kura, yeah.
Oh
yeah. Kura. Yeah. So it's based on a group of Maori young fellas that one wanted to move to Aussie, and it's a little bit of gang stuff, but it's life in Papakura.
And you got a song though.
Well, it ended up being like the theme song for the whole thing, So like every time an episode will come on, it'll have my song jamming. I'm like, oh, smack.
Do they have to ask you about that?
Yeah.
Right.
So you put it up for licensing, and they basically you put it in a pool that all of these film people can go into, and you don't know who's going to choose it. But when they choose it, they'll inform you and say, hey, look, your song's being synced to this. You want that to happen. You don't want to say no to any of that. They can't change the song or nothing. Basically, you put it in a pool, and if they choose it, bruh, man, So.
However, do you have the power to check out who got your song, and if you're okay with it? Yeah, you do.
Yeah. So at the time I was with a record label, they did a lot of that, and then they told me, you cool with this? They reckon,
cool.
Sweet.
Nice.
Any exposure is good. Especially in Aotearoa, because it's hard to get your music out there if you're not a top tier artist, and for a long time, I wouldn't even consider myself that now. But I just know that if people are playing the music, that's what it's been made for.
Kings never lose their majesty, my brother.
Yeah, well, that's slick, eh?
That's a good one.
I like that.
Write that down. Write that down.
Yeah. How I can play this back.
There you go.
But
and then the prize.
So the Silver Scroll was something I had to actually read about. I didn't really know anything about Silver Scroll.
What year was that when it came to you, and then you got to find out what it was, and then you tell us what it is, please?
2014, Westside Hori got, like, I just dropped it, and then and they says, hey, your song made the finalists for the Silver Scroll, and then they post all the artists that made it in the finalists. It's like the top 10, sorry. And I looked at it, and I was like the only unknown person on there, because it's not actually about popularity. It's actually about the quality of the songwriting itself. And I was like, oh, so these dudes have got like 1 million streams. Like, why am I even there? And they're like, oh no, because this is the merit on your songwriting ability. So
what do they like judge your writing? Like, how do they?
Yeah, so basically, they have a pool of, every year they have a pool of songs that get submitted by the artists or their management, and they go through them, as a panel, like there's a whole panel of people, radio people, you know, journalists, radio DJs, and they listen to the songs, and then they vote on what makes the final sort of top 10, top 20. And then it goes to the APRA members. So basically they say, here's the top 20 that we've decided. Now you, as the other songwriters all around Australasia, get to vote on these songs.
So the public doesn't vote.
The public can't touch it. Nothing to do with public. So it's only songwriters that can vote. And I was just like, whoa, so these people actually know about songwriting. They write songs.
So you got to vote, but obviously you cannot vote.
You only got one,
but
that's it. Yeah, you get one vote. That's it.
Do you remember who you voted for?
I might have voted. I think I voted for myself.
Can you? That's cool.
No, actually, no. I don't think
I'd vote for myself.
Yeah, I would vote for myself too. But I'm just thinking if it was a condition.
No, no. I think I did vote for myself. But if I was to vote for someone that year, it would have been Lord. Is that when Royals dropped?
Right. Did she end up winning?
She killed everyone.
Right.
Yeah. Well. She killed everyone. I mean, they had a rad. Now they had 660. They had Catch a Fire.
Ooh.
They had all these, you know, people. I was like, oh, smack! These are the baddest artists that I listen to, and I've got them like, damn. So I'm like, yeah, that's a win. Cool. Yeah, and that's when I found out about it. So basically, it's the most prestigious prize you can win as a songwriter. It's you know, they rate it higher than a TUI award or higher than a music award or best artist or best hip hop artist. This is the best songwriter out of any genre. So usually the music awards are in genres. You know, best country artist, best rock artist, best pop artist. You know, most radio plays. Those are all genres. But this one here is like over anything in any genre. And, you know, I'm like, oh, smack. So this is like the prize to win as a songwriter.
How many times have you been nominated for?
This is the second time.
Now.
Yeah, so
right
Turanga Waiwai, yeah.
Oh.
Turanga Waiwai got has made the top 5, and we find out next Thursday who wins that.
Really?
Yeah.
Shoo.
Yeah, man. So I'm pretty proud of that, man.
Are they streaming it anywhere, or is it on?
Yeah, so the awards, they usually have this big fancy red carpet awards, just like fancy. And I was like, oh man, I actually bought something like especially just for that. Because I was like, I don't want to rock up in just the whatevers, you know. Yeah. I'm like, oh, this
Who's that guy?
Yeah. Oh, he ain't winning. You know?
Big minute now.
He can't even get in, bro. Like, his shoes are dirty. And yeah, so they had to postpone it a few times. And obviously with this COVID thing going on, they couldn't have the awards. And they just says, look, we're still doing some online things. So it's pushed it back. So everyone's kind of in suspense about, man, who actually won this? Like, we don't know yet. So what we had to do was do a little video about what inspired the songs that we wrote. And I was in the classroom with a whole bunch of young people who I was teaching marae protocol to, or tikanga marae, who'd never been onto a marae. And they were all Maori. And this was in Thames, actually, a few years back. And I was just like, damn, none of you, like, they were 17, 18 years old, but they were like, no, about 20 of them in the room. I was like, damn, you never been onto? So what I did, I got them to write their experiences up on a whiteboard. I just like played some music, had some kai like this, and just kicked back. And they're like, oh, this is a bit of a kickback class. And I was like, yeah. When you guys feel the need or feel the urge, just write up what your experience of being on the marae is. And things that came out. Like this whole whiteboard was full by the end of the session. Anyway, I was like, oh, yeah, I have an early day today. And I sent them home and I was like, damn, I'm going to have a read of this board. And it said things like, I can't speak Maori, so what's the point? You know, things like, we only go there for tangi or funerals and everyone's on a sad buzz. I'm not down with that.
Yeah, like I've never...
Do you connect to that? Do you relate to that?
I don't think I've ever been to a marae where I haven't been at a tangi.
Yeah.
Like it's always just been, like I've never been just to go to a marae.
Yeah.
Which is probably, but... Yeah,
that's their only sort of link to it. Yeah. So they're like, everyone's always on a down buzz.
But it is good to like see everybody, but I guess for the circumstances it's not the best.
But for the experience, I get it because like I'm like I guess if you associate that with bad vibes, then you kind of like don't want to be around that.
Yeah,
I get that, and I'll just say just be free. Don't worry about what I'm gonna say or what anybody else is gonna say. This is your experience, You know, they talk for ages and I don't know what they're saying. So I might as well just wait in the car type of thing, you know? And I'm like, fair enough. Like, this is just them being honest.
No, I feel that.
Yeah.
Like half the time, like most of the time, I don't even know what anybody's saying. And
Straight
I'm just
up.
sitting there, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I feel bad because I don't know what they're saying.
Totally.
And I'm like, oh.
And then they start laughing and you're like, oh.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, what are we even laughing at?
Oh, what's the song? Oh, are we singing the song?
Yeah,
oh,
and I'm like,
damn. Like, am I standing like, what?
Am I supposed to stand up?
Hard.
Or?
And this is just not knowing. It's not knowing. So, yeah, anyway, I wrote that song about my home. And basically, if you followed that song, Tūranga Waiwai, right from start to the end, it's pretty much a pōwhiri. The whole thing. You know, starts off with Maisie and the karanga. Then you get the, you know, the whai kōrero, you get the speaking, then you get the hariru, you meet everyone, then we go and have kai. This is what this area is called, this is what it's for. And so like I started just remembering everything and put it in a rap. And so I says, look, you know, this is how I'm going to teach this class. I'm going to rap to them. And I'm like, oh, sweet. So he had to make it non-confronting. So anyway, I was rapping to this class and like I recorded this song, played the song. And then I'd say, write down what you just heard. Then, what do you think I was talking about? Oh, I was talking about this. Boom, boom, boom. Before they knew it, they had like 3 pages of stuff. And they were like, yeah, I get it. And we kind of did the class, but it kind of grew from there. And now it's like, yeah, I got the idea from kids. Yeah.
Who else is in that song?
Macy Rika. The wonderful Macy Rika. I actually didn't know her that well at that stage. So I was kind of really nervous about approaching her because I was like, man, she's amazing,
Yeah,
right?
her voice is, she's so good.
She's like the Maori princess, like, no, actually queen, but only Maori know her.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like, she should be way more known
straight
than
up.
she is. She's got the best voice ever. She doesn't even
Easy.
sound like she's trying.
Is she that level of musician that actually plays what we would say world music? She's that
Yep.
kind of artist
Totally.
that actually travels more and plays more
Yeah.
overseas than actually in the country?
Yeah, I think, well, she does a lot of her stuff in Te Reo Māori. So, you know, it's going to be more for people that speak Te Reo Māori, but her voice is universal.
Yeah, you don't even have to be able to speak Māori to know that
Nah.
she's a good singer.
Fantastic.
It's just like,
Yeah,
it's just
I
like
got
good
into
for
a
your
little
soul
bit.
when you
Yeah,
listen to
yeah.
the song.
I
It's
got
just
It's
like,
like angelic. She sounds.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. After you putting me into those artists, I was like, okay, there's a universe here of that I'm unaware of, and it was very refreshing.
yeah.
Especially the bro who also sing on that
Oh,
song.
Troy Kingy. Man, Troy Kingy is just the coolest dude. I saw him perform at the Maori Music Awards one year. I was just kind of chilling in the back, and then this big dude jumps up and got this guitar, and the whole lights just like boom down on him, and he just plays this, no band, and just grabs this guitar and just starts singing, and we're just like, damn. This dude is like,
He's good.
yeah, I was like, I thought Michael Jackson was cool. This fella doesn't even have to dance. Like, damn, he was that good. And everyone was just like,
Yeah.
looking around, and everyone was like,
Yeah, and he looks like, and like when he plays, it looks like he's not even trying.
Yeah.
Like when he sings, it's just like, nah, he doesn't even.
Man, honestly, I can't wait to have a chat with him because I love the story of how he's composing the albums. That each, do you know
10,
about
10,
it?
10. I know about it. 10 albums, 10 years, and 10 different genres.
Did you know about that?
No, I don't know that.
I think he's on like number 5.
And there's a story behind with his father that he
Bro.
didn't meet. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that actually on like a show the other day.
Coolest dude, bro.
Coolest day.
He's got the coolest. Like he's like quite psychedelic too. Like his album, man, is the title of his album is "Shake That Skinny Ass All the Way to Zygatron."
I really like that album. It's really good.
It's the baddest
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. Grandma's Rocket Palms.
I love that song. Yeah, that's good.
We're gonna get it. He'll come to the Coromandel.
Oh, no,
we
you will,
can't
yeah.
miss that for sure. Man.
He lives in the Bay of Islands. He loves just. He's just the man, bro. Like when I saw him, I was just like, "Fuck, man, be mean ass to do a song with you, bro." Like I was like that. I was
Do a
just like,
song with me.
"Faji, we should do a song." And he's just like,
Yeah,
Okay, man. Yeah, man.
sounds pretty buzzy. And I'm like, "Oh,
Tipene,
yeah."
now it's a bit of a musician question, but I think people will think it's interesting. Hip hop artists collaborate a lot, and I love that. What's the process of collaborating with other artists? Do you come up with the beats? Do you come up with the lyrics first? Do you send them an idea, or each time is a different time?
I think all of those. In my experience, I've got to meet someone. I've got to sort of, you know, be face to face with them and like listen to their music and really feel what they're doing musically. It's pretty simple for me. I've done like so many collaborations, but a lot of it has come with, I'll have the kaupapa or I'll have the topic already sort of in my mind. And like I may have a demo of a song or an idea and we share it in conversation. Like I'm quite a kanohi me te kanohi like that. I don't quite know how other artists do it, but email is pretty handy to break the ice.
Great.
But like most of the artists that I've worked with, probably only one or two,
face to face.
I've met them face to face.
Yeah.
There's probably one person that I've collabed with that I've never met face to face.
Who is that?
Mariko. So Mariko was the MC from the Decepticons, Savage.
Yeah.
Nell, yeah. He's like world class. He's like he's like the lyricist. He's like a lyricist.
Was that the classic 16 bars? Record 16?
Nah. I gave him what I was trying to talk about. Gave him the kaupapa, gave him the beat, and I just says, hey man, like this is where I'm going with this. Do your thing. Yeah. A lot of the times I'd have my verse on it already, so I would give them, especially the rappers.
Yeah.
Like the Maisie collaboration.
Yeah.
I had the idea of the raps, and I had Troy. He was in that particular space, but there was like big gaps on the front and on the back, and I was like, oh, maybe if you could do a karanga at the front type of thing, this is what we're trying to do, you know? And she was like, oh, yeah, cool. She ended up just singing over the whole damn thing, and I was just like, mean, you know, like, whoa, like, and she's like, oh, bro, just delete whatever you don't want. I'm like,
no, I'll keep it all good.
I ain't deleting the damn thing. There's the meanest.
Might do 3 versions of this song just in case.
But I was just like, that. Wow, that's amazing. She slayed the whole thing.
Fantastic.
But what was cool about it in real life, our nannies are actually the brains of the marae. They run the kitchen. They make sure the kids are good. They do the, you know, set people up in the whare nui, you know. The wahine have a bigger role in the marae or in our iwi, in our tribes, than what is visually there. You know, like when you go to a marae, you'll just see the matua or the tane, the man's talking. So it looks like he's running the show.
Yeah, but who's doing the dishes and
he's
the cooking?
He's the puppet man. Yeah. He's the puppet. He's the face.
He's the face of the marae.
And
there's mana in that too. Yeah. But our nannies, like, they're the ones that really run shit, type of thing, you know, like, and so for her to weave all the way through that song, it actually made sense to me, like in the way who we are as a people. That made sense, and I'm just like, yeah, you know. And she said, oh, I just couldn't stop singing, bro. I was up till like late hours, waking my kids up and dancing in the, you know, like, you know. I met Bossy. Bossy is her husband. I went over for Kai later on after we did the song and met him, and he was just like, yeah, bro, fuck, she was up for ages. And I was just like, yeah, babe, turn it down. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, fuck, trying to get asleep for work. I think I had a day off the next day. I was like, oh, hey, fuck, was it that bad? And I was like kind of buzzing. I was like, fuck, I didn't even know if she would like it or not. It was one of those things. I was just like, because I had so much respect for her as an artist.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow, if there's anything she would collab on, this is probably my best chance. Because I've always been like, I'm fans of everyone I collab with, put it that way.
That's cool.
Like a huge fan. Like I know all your lyrics, G. You know, and they're like, yeah. Oi. Like,
well, tell me this song then. No.
Yeah. And I reckon I know where this one came from. You know, like I'm that dude. Yeah. You know, if an artist is great to me, that worth listening to. And
man, the time that West Side Horror became a thing, and then you were suddenly like, okay, now I can see where this is going. How much sense did you make of the situation? And I just want to put another question there so you can kind of blend in, because you're being so descriptive, which I love it. And then I guess you played with a lot of cool people, right? At the time of touring together and doing cool stuff. So how was the mindset? Yeah. Because how old were you? Put us in the timeline.
Far
and then,
out. Good question.
Yeah, and then go for the experience of dealing with that at a young age, as I believe.
I think I would have been like mid-20s. maybe mid to late 20s. I had the idea for a while. I actually wrote it to a totally different beat. Like I had the last verse first, and that's all I had. I didn't have a chorus, nothing. But when I heard that beat, it helped me write the first parts. So I actually wrote the song backwards, which is pretty. I don't even know. You know, does that even? I don't know. Yeah. That made sense to me. And I think off of that one song, I had this bucket list, man. I had this bucket list.
Oh, now we're talking.
I had this bucket list because I was like, I had all these CDs, man, and I still have them. You know, and all my favorite artists: Shay Fu, Damn Native, Scribe. I had Smash Proof CD. I had just some OGs, right? And I was like, "Fuck, man, that's like my goal. If I could work with these dudes, man, that would be like the ultimate for me. Like in my career, if that's the word for it, in my journey, if I could work with these dudes, that's what's up. Like in my heart, I had that. When a song dropped, that kind of opened the door because they're all real artists, and like I think I got a song with Shay Fu, you know, who's like my hero, and I was just like, oh snap, that's Shay Fu. Like we're in the studio, and he said he only heard that one song, and he was just like, bruh, that's us. You know, that was it. And I was like, oh,
that's gotta feel good.
Oh, I was just like, oh man, I gotta do something real cool now because they're like Shay Fu, and I was like pretty much just, what do you call that?
Starstruck. How do you deal with that? Like, how did you deal with making music with him when you're like such a big fan? Wow. If you could say that.
Yeah, it's a good question. How did I do it? I think I bumbled my way through it. Honestly, like I was just like, didn't have an engineer at the time, and I was learning how to work Logic, you know. And I was just like, but this is not one of the breathers at home. This is Shay Fu.
Yeah, and you can't be like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing.
He goes, oh, so you're engineering too? Yo, that's what's up. And it was like, okay, can I get this pop on the dip? And I was just like, hey, yeah, bro. What was that again?
Yeah, all good. I'll just go on YouTube.
Oh, where did you find that again? Oh, and he was like, sweet, you know. And I actually didn't know, but I was just nervous as hell.
Yeah, I feel like that always happens. Like when you're around people that you want like to impress, everything goes wrong.
And I just knew if I'm gonna be around this dude, it's because I'm real, not because I'm like trying to overdo anything. Yeah. And I was just like, actually, man, have confidence in yourself. He's here, like he came to me, you know. Yeah. And I was in Auckland, and I was like, and I'm like, bro. I think Sid and them were in the studio at the time.
At the same time with.
Yeah. Oh. So they were next door and they were writing and stuff, and he was just like,
I'd just be freaking out.
He was just like, geez, that. Fuck, is that Shay Fu in there? And I was like, oh yeah, bro. And he was like,
play it cool.
Fuck, how did you get him there? And I was like, I only got one song, bro. Like, I only got one song. And he's just like, ow, man, we trying to get that dude for ages. Oh, bro, I was like, I didn't know what to say, but I was like, I'm not trying to waste this opportunity. And Damn Native, right? I did a song with Damn Natives called Pioneers on my first album. And like he's like Muhammad Ali if I was a boxer, you know, wanting to be a boxer. And I was just like, dude, this dude is still here. He's like the Michael Jordan of, like, in my eyes, to do a song with him. And I was like, and then I heard his verse, like he recorded it in the studio where he's from. He sent it over, and I was like, damn. Like no one had ever heard from him for like 2 decades.
Oh, serious?
Oh,
he dropped the baddest album ever, and he disappeared. And they were like, "Where's the bro? You know, like he doesn't gig no more. He just disappeared into Puha somewhere." And we're like, he's like surfing now. I was like, "What? He's the champ though." Like, and they're like, "Yeah." He was battling addiction at the time. That's quite out there now in the public. And yeah, he had to go out of the public eye to do that. And I was like, "Damn!" Like he was the man. And anyway, I pulled him back out of Puha. Yeah.
Do you remember the moment? Do you remember first time you looked at the bro and you're like, hi?
Yeah. It was more like, fuck.
Yeah.
It was more like, fuck, he's the man. Like,
yeah.
I couldn't even pin, because usually when you hear an artist, or when I've heard an artist, I can sort of pick who their influences are, you know. With that dude, I just had no idea. I was like, he's like an original. Like I've never heard anything like that. The way he flows, anything, the way he looks, the way he's talking. Those beats are just unorthodox as. That's just like a holy shit. That's art. Yeah. So he was that dude. So when I saw him, when I met him, and he came. Well, actually, we did a music video for that particular song. It's on YouTube and whatever. When he turned up, everyone that was in the music video were like, that dude ain't coming. He don't come to shit. You know, you're lucky, man. Did he tell you he was coming? I was like, yeah, nigga. When did you last talk to him? Like last week. You know, like,
oh, he's not coming.
He ain't coming. Like, fuck. They were already like, we might as well start drinking now. Like, you know, I was like, hey, fuck, is it that bad? Like, because I wasn't around at that time. Right. These guys were older and they knew him, the OGs. They knew him and they were like, man, you should have rung him up today. And I'm like, damn. Then I was like kind of half guessing myself. But he turned up. And they were like, shit.
Okay, put the camera on.
Yeah, they're like, okay, look, we're in now. Like, and the day was like that. It was just like
beautiful,
amazing. Yeah. And you know, Scribe was the same. Because Scribe was like, he was like the dude. He was the dude, you know. After Damn Native was Scribe. Scribe just killed everything, you know. He took it to the next level, man.
Did he do international as well? Yeah, big time, eh?
Yeah. He did a song with. You have to know the MCs for that, but Talib Kweli. Talib Kweli, man. He got a song with Talib Kweli on his second album. It's called All Right.
He's got a cool show with Mos Def.
Yeah, bro.
And,
Dave
Chappelle.
Real scholars. Like that dude's like rhyming all the time, and you're like getting lost in his double entendres. Like I'm like, fuck. If you only rewind that, he's got a song with Wycliffe Jean.
Yeah.
Jean. Sorry, Billie Jean.
Someone.
You know the international buzz.
Yeah.
But you know the bro, he went 6 times platinum.
Yeah, I know the multitudes. I know the magnitudes of
but
the thing. But
no one did that. Not even close. He broke every single record there was, number wise. But he was actually the real deal. Like this dude, he could rock any crowd. Any crowd, white, black, gangsters, Australian, doesn't matter, man. Like, he could rock any crowd, and he could still do that now. He's still one of the dopest I've seen live. He's just got this crazy energy. Loves what he does. Got ultra respect for Scribe. When we met, it was in Flaxmere. He came to Flaxmere for this particular kaupapa. And I turned up, and he was like, West Side Hori.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo. And he was like, bro, on. That was it. We're bros from that, you know? And I was just like, fuck. I got a song with Scribe, and the boys were like, hey, it's Scribe. I was like, she
just got it.
He can't talk about my song, man. What do you want me to do?
Well, yeah, hip hop speaks volumes, man. Yeah, and if it's stuff that you can connect to and relate to, like the way I did with their music, you know, it's kind of like easy. Because you know you don't have to sit there and go, oh, bro, the song's about this, and bro, you better not say motherfucker over here, and please don't talk about hoes and all of that, you know, like, you already know what's going on. You're like, yeah, that's what we're up to.
Man, you mentioned the thing with Damn Native, having an issue with substances and stuff, and then as most people know, Scribe had his moment. I listened to a beautiful show on RNZ.
Beautiful way
with him. Beautiful.
Yeah, what happened?
Addiction.
So you can talk a little bit about that, about those guys, because they're so open about it.
Totally,
so it'll be fine for you to say. But my question with that is like, did you have a moment so you flirted with a little bit of that? So you just put us on both about what happened to those guys and what was your experience while living that same era? Yeah,
I think addiction. Like when I met Scribe, I could see that anything he did 1,000%. Like if it was rapping, he'd just 1,000%. If it was eating chocolate, man, 1,000%. If it was eating KFC, it was just anything he did. It was just
go hard or go home.
You know. Yeah. I remember we were in a studio session one time, And he said, hey, you fellas hungry? Well, oh, no, not really, man. He's like, oh, I'll bring some snacks. Oh, yeah, some snacks. How many people there? Just me and the bro. He walked in like 3 shopping bags of like chips and chocolates and milkshakes and all this. I'm like, boom. I'm like, oh.
That's food for a couple of days.
Are you expecting someone? He was like, I know you fellas said you were hungry. I was like, bro, And the bro goes, oh, bro, I can't eat that stuff because I'm vegan. I was like, oh, shit. So he was like 6 blocks of chocolate, man. I was like, I might have like a line, And he was just like, man, so bro, he just like, yeah. So I know with addiction is he's got a, that goes in the opposite way as well. So obviously gambling was a big addiction for him. Drugs was a big addiction for him. And it took him to some real dark places that he's working on his way through. And there's a big doco called The Return of the Crusader. It's on TV on demand. Mm-hmm. And it gives you the whole lowdown of the whole thing. Crack, yeah. Those dudes are rock stars, man. Damn native, same thing. Alcohol. He's a chronic alcoholic. Could rhyme like no one else, man. But then, there was that side of him, that he didn't quite get a grip on, He's sober as now, and he's freaking awesome for it. But I know both of those dudes were like rock stars, and they kind of went to this crazy height. Yeah. And I don't know if that put pressure on them, to keep up with the whole thing. I couldn't speak on that. All I know is my time with them was genuine, and I'm pretty lucky to have that, and that was on my first album. The first album, I thought maybe I'd get them on my when I had a bit of traction or whatever. But man, I'm real lucky. Got to work with them, all my idols on my first albums.
And what about your relationship with substances? Because you mentioned something coming. Like, I remember you just said something about being at school and having those parties at home. So probably was already in the environment. How much did that get to you, to your life?
Well, here's a true story. Everyone that I knew rapped, smoked weed. Right? Snoop Dogg smoked weed. Cypress Hill smoked weed. Bone Thugs smoked weed. Everyone smoked weed. So I thought, oh shit. Maybe smoking weed is what I gotta do.
That's where it comes from. Yeah.
These guys will smoke weed. They'll make me an amazing rapper. Well, it just actually made me slow and dumb ass.
It was a different way of rapping, eh?
I was like cabbage ass.
No, you think you're cool, eh? But then you're like, oh.
Nah, man. Even though when I was like doing it, I was like, this is shit. I didn't even remember what I wrote. Like, I was looking at it, but I can't remember how it went, and I was just like, bro. And it's it's tough to say. I will just have a feed. And bro, it was just like terrible, man. Like, all the boys are like, yo, we can throw all our work money in, get like some tinnies, like, get an ounce or whatever. And then that's what we're going to do, man. We're going to smoke heaps of weed, and then we'll come up with an amazing song.
We'll be creative.
And that's right, bro. Next minute, the boys smacked over, and I was like, come on. This is teeth. And we were just like wasting a lot of time. And I used to get frustrated because, when you want to remember something and it's real important.
Yeah, and then you just can't. Yeah.
And I was just like,
yeah.
I had the baddest line. The boys were like, oh, yo, the baddest line there. Yeah, I bet you did. And I'm like, oh, fuck, man. And I just turned into a big dummy. So, yeah. So
were you enjoying it, though? I understand, like, that didn't work productively. Yeah. But did you enjoy the buzz of getting high? Was it something that you were at least like, oh, nah?
Nah, it just made me dumb. Yeah. Made me boring, made me slow. Like, when you have real good weed, it made you, like, body stoned and stuff. Like, I remember, like, cruising around uptown, had this, don't know what it was, man. And then I was trying to wave to someone. I couldn't even move, bro. I was just like...
Just doing that old bunny wave.
Yeah, hard. And it got to the point where I was with my bros, and we had this weed and whatever. And he said something to me. I thought he said something totally different. He was like, don't ever come to my house ever again. And I was like, what? Don't ever come to my house ever again, bro. Sweet. I was like, all good, eh? All good. And then I left, And the bro was like, oh, where you going? And I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, I was like, Kim. Anyway, the next day, he was just like, fuck, you were out of it, buzzed the other night. I was like, you were out of it, bro. And he was like, fuck, I was just saying, let's go to my house for a feed. And I was like, did you actually see that? And he was like, yeah, bro, I was hungry. You must have been hungry. I was like, bro, I was starving.
And you kicked me out.
And he kicked me out, bro. I was like, I need to get rid of the weed. It was pretty crazy, with like stupid amounts, like to the point where your mouth is just so dry. It's like I don't even know if I want to drink or feed or asleep or what.
Or
it was just
once, all together.
Confusion.
I just couldn't focus. I couldn't focus on anything except food. And if I had an addiction, it would have been that. And that's probably it. But yeah, for me, I was just like, I need to be sharp.
Yeah.
If I get on stage and forget my shit, I look like a chump. I'll kick myself off. You got all these people turning up to a show and you're forgetting your shit.
Yeah.
Because you'd smoke too much weed, or you don't want to admit that you do. Well, kind of artist are you? You committed, are you into it, or you just lying to yourself?
Do you remember moments of being playing with other people, with other artists, where you saw that happening in front of you? You were like, "Fuck, that guy's gone. That guy's gone."
Totally, bro.
People paid for that, and
bro, I've seen a dude, like 5 rappers on a stage, bro. One dude was pissed, and he was on the side, and he tripped over all the mic cords, bro. The whole lot of them were rapping, and it just hurt all these mics, bro, just. And they went off the stage, bro, so they couldn't even find them. And it was just like all these dudes were like, oh shit.
That's embarrassing. How do they even let him on stage?
Well, he had a mask on, man.
I would have kept that mask on too.
Bro, like Wu-Tang? They were trying to like
Doom,
be
man. He was not like, MF Doom.
He had like, it looked like a stocking actually. But I think it was supposed to be a belly. But he had no eyelids.
That's probably why he fell over.
It was just trying to look cool. It didn't look cool until that happened, bro. And then it was just the, oh, and then the bro couldn't even recover because the mics were all like spaghettied up. And then he kicked all of them off, and they all just was holding the mic like this, and then just went, and they all just went. I was loud as anyway. I was just screeching and shit. It's like, damn. I won't even say who the crew is. I'm not even about that.
Keep it cool.
But all I know is, he couldn't see for one, but he was ultra drunk because he couldn't face the crowd without alcohol in his system. I know heaps of people that can't do that. They have to get drunk, get high, and some of them can maintain, straight up. But I think if you can't do that naturally, this is just my opinion. If you can't do that naturally, what are you up to?
Yep.
You're not even in control of anything. You forget your shit. Especially as an MC, we've got so many lyrics to remember. Timing, breathing. It's a martial art, man. Straight up. You get on there and you just ankle tapping through your raps. I'm like, fuck. You in practice, bro. You ain't ready.
Yep.
You ain't ready. If you make a mistake, you should be able to recover from that. Because anyone can make a mistake. It's what you do after that. But if you just like, oh, yo, bro, start the song again, like, cause get off you ain't ready. Not for that level. Not for that level. Yeah, I've seen people fall off the stage. I've seen people, bro, fall on the drummer. I've seen that, bro, like straight up. I've seen the drummer, bro. I've seen the drummer like tip his shit over, and he's just like, yo, bro, like trying to get the shit back. And I'm just like, damn, that must. Because it's loud and they're all mic'd up as well, so it's tough. Yeah.
Any good stories with you, like on your own stage? Not necessarily with you, but like maybe someone doing the sound.
Yeah.
Or the crowd.
Oh, totally, bro. Like I've had some shits out of me, bro. I've had a sound system blow out, totally blow out, and it wasn't
in the middle of the thing, like just happening.
Actually, I was with Scribe at the time. We were at the Flexmere Festival. This dude, I recommended a particular sound man because I know he's got good gear. He's from anyway. They didn't listen. They got the cheap guy, and the cheap guy was just like, "Oh, bro, you got that guy? Oh,
no sub,
nah,
no
man.
sub."
He had like I think he had some mental things where if things didn't go good, Honestly, he just panicked and just went on everything. And he was just like, bro, there was no like, tapping or like, pull this down, no calmness at all. If things didn't go right, a mic screech, bro, he'd go. I was like, this dude is not good for the industry. He's terrible, G. Like, this guy, bro, man. Like, he needs to play soccer or something. Like, do something else, bro. Do something different.
Carry the speakers.
Yeah, but when I saw him on the desk, I was like, oh nah, bro, this is not good, bro. Anyway, it was like a final thing, and the Scribe was like, oh good, bro, we'll just get up and like do some rap. You know, and he did not many, bro. Like, it was like, y'all ready for this? And it was like, oh shit, everyone was like, yeah.
Yeah.
How many dudes you know? That was it.
Oh, that's...
Everything just went. And we were like, oh. Shit. And everyone was like,
beatbox and improv.
bruh. It came back on, like, he came back on. There was, and then it just like, and I was just like, he was even like he was facing the other way. And then it came back on, and then boom, and he was back into it again, and it blew out again. I was like, oh man, how embarrassing is this? Anyway, because it was in my hood, and anyway, I jumped up just to total with it, bro, and I was like, bro, and the power came back on. I was like, okay, bro, drop West Side Ori because this song just came out. It's huge here. They're gonna feel it. Anyway, halfway through the verse, same thing happened. Popped out. But you know what was cool? Everyone knew the song.
Went on. Yeah.
And it just went on.
That's the shit.
And I invited all these kids up on the stage, and they just rapped the whole shit with me, And what was out of it, bro? And this is kind of like a thing with the council.
Sorry, that's not a video clip though, eh?
No.
I love that clip, man.
No, that was banging that day. What was out of it is that they had the thing called the Flaxmere Festival, and I was from Flaxmere. I just did a big song about Flaxmere that was like recognized on the highest level and whatever. And they said I couldn't play at the festival because my song is not mainstream or something. I was like, oh shit. But do you know that guy Scribe? I was like, yeah, I know him. I gave him a call. I was like, hey bro, they're keen to have you. Not thinking they wouldn't have me. But anyway, they got him through me. And I was like, gee, fucking hoes. So anyway, I got there, right? And Scribe was like, oh bro, when are you up? And I was like, oh no, I'm not up. He's like, what the fuck? Nah, man, like, bro, we changing that shit. And then I was like, no, we want you, and you have to be the guy. Anyway, he didn't give a shit because he was like, this is hip hop. Yeah. And he invited me on the stage, and that's how that all went down. And anyway, the whole thing just about was a disaster. And then, we did West Side Hori, all the songs, all the kids came on the stage, about 50 of them, and saved the whole day, right? And the sound never came back on after that. It was just over. Yeah,
that guy needs to be fired.
Yeah,
I think.
But those kids will never forget the story.
Never forget that story, man. They actually saved that whole thing. It was about us and about Flaxmere, and the organisers looked like chumps, man. But that wasn't even my thing. It had in the paper, local hero saves the day, and I was like, oh, come on, that's bad. Like maybe this will wake you up to, what I'm about as an artist, anyway. And yeah, it was just kind of like, that's why I say, the ones that know you the best are your worst critics. Straight up. The ones closest to me, that's a lyric in the song, as well. And I was like, oh shit, I didn't think it would come that quick, but here it is. Flaxmere was the place that grew us up, It was also a lot of that sort of tall poppy syndrome back home, where who do you think you are, going out doing this rap thing, I'm better than you, and I remember when you were nothing, type of shit. And I'm just like, that's just fair. That's just fair. You fellas are living in fear. Mm-hmm. You don't want to take a chance, take a risk. I don't know if this is going to pop off, but I'm feeling it, and I'll back it, and I'll stand and do the shit, and I'll do it because my heart's in it, Yeah. And yeah, man, like, it took me ages to win my own hometown. Yeah. Auckland, and they were bumping my stuff before my hometown was. And that's the truth. Yeah.
It's interesting how the journey goes, like how you don't expect what's gonna go first, what's gonna happen first, and how it's gonna make it the full circle.
Straight, you just never know. Like, all I know is the people that know you the most, they either really have your back, or you get those ones that say they have your back, but
they really don't.
They want you to fall over.
Yeah.
They just really don't.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's mean. Oosh.
Yeah, but they're like waiting for you to fail.
Hard out.
And then they're just waiting to like say.
But that's them projecting their fear onto you. Yeah. You know? They say, well, how are you going to do that? You can't do that. I said, well, no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
I can do it. I don't know how I'm going to do it. But I'll figure it out. Because there's something in me won't stop until I do. And then after that, I won't stop until I achieve the next thing and the next thing. And it's really just battling with yourself, you know? It's just, you know, it's an internal battle because you can only control what you do. You can't control what anybody else is doing. You can't control anything, you know? You can't even control the kids, you know? Nothing, you know? It's more about, controlling yourself. And I said, look, I don't know what they're going to say. I don't know how many likes, what even that even means. I don't know what APRA's about. Like, they want to, you know, show some cool, you know, but I was like, well, you have to go back into yourself. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Well, I'm sharing because I'm passionate about 3 things, you know. I'm passionate about music. I'm passionate about people and helping people. And I'm passionate about being Maori, you know. That's what I'm doing. And check, boom.
Check, boom.
Have you ever experienced like a creative block?
Yep.
Like with writing?
Totally.
How did you get over that?
Live some more. Because, you know, if you haven't well, for me, if I haven't experienced it, I can't write about it. You know, like I wouldn't write about somebody else's story because it's not mine to tell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless it was given to me, like my ancestors and my tupuna have given me these things, these gifts, these taonga to share, I'm going to do that, you know. But the writer's block came because my writing comes from real life experiences. They're inspired by real experiences. If I haven't lived it, I can't write about it. So if it's not coming to me naturally, then I'm not writing. Mm-hmm. So I don't see it as a block. I see it as I've got to stretch before I run, you know, type of thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that's a really good way to look at it.
Wow. So I wouldn't look at it as a block. I would look at it as need to put some more fuel in the tank. Go and live some more. And that's kind of what I tell anybody that experiences that, because I definitely have it. I'm like, oh, man, you know, like, what's the next line? What's this? You know, I'm like, well, I'm never not writing. Yeah, I'm never not writing. I don't sit down and say, I'm going to write for an hour. I'm always humming some stuff. I'm always like annoying everyone around me, like with some lines or something. And they're like, oh, man, you going to do anything with it? Like, you keep saying the same thing. And I'm like, yeah, you should know me by now. Yeah. But it still can be annoying to people that don't understand that. It sound like repetitive and it might be just a tune I'm just humming over and over and over. And if it keeps sticking with me, then I'll action it. Yeah, if it sticks, then I'll action it usually. If it inspires me, I'll action it. Yeah, so yeah, the writing thing is, I'm always writing. Like even sitting here, I'm thinking about things.
Great. You
know, that I could write about. You know, they'll tell me which ones they are. They'll tell me it's like somebody else. Yeah.
Do you have I don't know if you read that book, the War of Art, that the guy talks about
the Art of War?
There's the one, The Art of War.
That's
but there's
famous
the
one.
War of Art, that the guy talks about inspiration. So he makes an image. It's a great book, bro. That was Paul, the bro who gave me this T-shirt. The brother, yeah.
Straight up.
He read it. I think I read it after or something like that.
Wow, the War of Art.
Yeah. So
that sounds interesting already. Yeah.
So I haven't read the other book either.
So he talks about like how he sees it. He makes an image of the muse, of the inspiration, like how he kind of like puts a persona into that, and then he dissecates, like he breaks down different concepts of how different people see inspiration, because some people like to see it coming through you. Music is, it's just I'm just channeling. Yeah. It's a short book. It's one of those great reads, that it's short, it's short and sweet.
Oh, that's good.
Makes you digest. And another interesting thing, I just like to go back to the conversation because I love that. You mentioned Wolverine, your teacher, telling you the quote, and sometimes something sits in your brain for a long time, and you're going to realize that years later. And I was actually reading an article in the Seagull magazine from Ayana. I don't know if you guys know Ayana Piper. She's in Antarctica right now. She's a beautiful writer. And then she was talking about that, of like how nowadays, like a lot of people post beautiful quotes. And some people love it, some people hate it. But like you gotta get that out of the way and realize how like so much value it's on that, but sometimes it will only resonate later in life. You might have to let that sit with you. Yeah,
that's real.
To see how
you can apply it.
Yeah. So I want to go there in a different way now. Like, how long have you been living in the Coromandel for now?
Oh, that's a good question. 2 years.
2 years.
Maybe a bit more.
Cool.
2.5.
I remember when you came and then we met and then we had a chat. You took me to your studio and you were showing me all the beautiful things that you were doing. And then I was curious because you also come from a place where like there was a hub and there was a nightlife, and well, you're an artist. Yeah, so you were always out there doing things. Yeah. And then I remember we were chatting and it was like kind of like, oh, you might feel that depression for a little bit of like, where's everything happening? But at the same time, there's so much other beautiful things happening.
Absolutely.
And that will probably play with your creative process because you're experiencing a completely different lifestyle. So, okay, 2 years.
Yeah.
How is the looking at these 2 years in the Coromandel and how you're writing your thing is coming to you, your art is coming to you?
Yeah. So naturally, I'm a country kid, bro. Like I grew up in the country-ish. Flaxmere is a suburb, but I've always been surrounded by grass and apples and hills and sheep, and all of that. So the city life actually took more adjusting to me, like Auckland and Waikato. Hamilton, those places are kind of like they're not naturally my habitat type of thing.
So it was actually the opera.
Yeah, it was quite the opposite, and like I found that place quite draining.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, just on my Wairua, and I found that it was quite stagnant. It's like a pond.
It suits the purpose, eh? Like
it does. It's like a pond though. Like I'm rivers is what I'm after. Like flowing is. That sounds a bit cheesy, but
that's cool.
It's just
it's poetic.
It's like
it's poetic, boys and girls.
I tell you what, man. Like if it's not going anywhere, it's stagnant. It's static, and I'm just like that's kind of how my thought process sort of flows. So when I came to Coromandel, came to Te Whitianga Nui a Kupe. There it is, right there. Yeah, I knew it was beautiful visually. And actually, I had a moment, man. I was walking along the beach here. What they call it, Buffalo Beach.
Buffalo. Wow.
Yeah, Ohuka. I've heard a few different names. Anyway, I was walking along the beach with my kids, and I came across that river. They call it Mother Brown's, but it's Tapu Tapu Wātea. Yeah, and I knew about Tapu Tapu Wātea just through more tia and chants that I learned from when I was in Kapahaka. I knew about what it is, and when I came across that river, I was like, "Is that?" I've never seen a river or anything called that, except back in Rangiati or back in Tahiti where we originated. So I dug a bit deeper. I saw Kupe's name everywhere. I was like, Kupe is like the OG. He's like the navigator. He's the dude that discovered Aotearoa. I knew about that, but I started just seeing that name like Kupe. I even saw Kupe's car wash. Bruh. Man, whoever, damn, like if anyone's listening to this, that is not good. That is like, bro, I just about crashed into the lamppost in the middle of the island, but when I looked back and I was like, you just called a car wash after our, damn, like, you fucking, like.
They'll just take everything.
Right, that's just colonization in its full power, man. Damn, or just ignorance. Or arrogance, or both. Yeah. So I was just like, this is not good, man. Anyway, I went to, I found Joe, like just by accident, I just actually went to his office, and it was actually his office. Oh, I'm Joe. I'm the rangatira for Ngāti Hei. And I was like, oh, Ngāti Hei, that's the hapu here. And he was like, yeah. So I just said, look, I've got these questions, man, about this. Is this what I think it is? Te whitianga nui a kupe. Is this where kupe landed? Is this where he came? Did he name that after his home? Yeah. And he's like, yeah. So I was like, how many people actually know this? And he's like, you and me and a few others. And I was like, okay, I need to do something about this. So I wrote a song called Kupe.
Yeah, well,
on the album Heritage Trail.
It's an anthem.
Straight up, man. Like, I was like, if my passion is to help people, right? My passion is people. My passion is music. My passion is being Maori. We put all those things, and Kupe was born out of that, because I was like, man, there has to be. I talk about re-indigenizing. You know, one of my mates that reads a lot of books, crazy amount of books. He heard some of the songs, and he goes, you know what you're doing, eh? I was like, yeah. And he goes, I don't think you do. You're re-indigenizing everyone with this music. And I'm so, what's that? Re-indigenizing. And he said, you know, you're bringing ancient knowledge to the forefront again. You're re-indigenizing people with this knowledge that's been around for hundreds, thousands of years. That's what you're doing with your music. And he goes, you know, the opposite that you would hear was decolonization. Like when you something, it's usually a negative. It sounds negative, eh? When you decolonize something, but when you reintroduce something or you re-indigenize, that's like more of a uplifting type of monarchy way to say what my music's doing. And I was like, oh. He goes, yeah, bro, you're bringing the stories of the old to now. You're re-indigenizing. I was like, I'm gonna use that, bro. I'm re-indigenizing Maori through the power of my music. And he's like,
that sounds mean.
That's what's up, eh?
Sounds mean.
There it is, bro. If I could drop this mic, I would have, but it looks pretty speaking to me. I was like,
keep it.
But you know, that's the mic drop moment right there.
Unless we bring the bro to step on the chords and
yeah, bro. Not today, man. And you know, that's really the kaupapa. That's really the push behind.
Yeah.
You know, you find your purpose. Yeah. When I was rapping at the start, I was just sharing. And then, you know, when you realize you're helping people and how powerful it is, and people that have, like, I've had messages from people that, you know, were at the verge of taking their own lives, man, you know, and they heard my song and they were like, bro, that song saved my life. I'm like, what do you mean save your life? I was like, bro, I was actually just about to. I'm like, damn, what? Wow, like, I wouldn't never imagine that even, yeah. I've had a lot of those in a way, and I keep in touch with a lot of them as well. Just saying hello. I don't know them personally, but I always tell them, you know, keep your head up, you know.
It's something that is not rare to listen to from an artist,
right,
from someone, you know, like, and it makes me think of like how common this is, you know, like how many people go through tough moments and moments of like we all do, and we know that, but like to take to that
like the next level kind
of like, I think that's it for me, you know, like, and having the arts there
totally
to bring you back, you know, like it should serve as an appreciation thing, right? It should really enlighten. It should put the spotlight in how important it is, eh?
Yeah, I guess when you're initially writing things, you don't think about I didn't think about the effect that will have on other people. All I wanted to do was share my story and uplift, you know, the people who were closest to me, really. And, you know, if you take the song for like West Side Hori, for example, you could take Flaxmere off the song and put any town in there.
Yeah,
you know? That's what I realized.
Universal.
You know, and the West Side thing, that wasn't even anything to do with, you know, West Side, East Side, and all that. I was like, bro, you go where your parents can afford, bro. You're like, you ain't got no choice. Like, who do you think you got a choice? You think you got a choice with your East Side or West Side, bro? You go where the hell they can afford to go, and you're just gonna be their side. And if they choose to move to the East Side, well, whatever, you know. And that's just how it was. And my nickname growing up was George. Which translates to Horty, you know. Yeah. So that's, you know, George that lived on the West Side.
Bro, what's your full name?
Well, yeah, I've got a few of them.
Sounds like a prince. Let's do it.
Oh, well, you know, my birth name's actually Stephen. Tānekaha, which is my middle name, Hama. Yeah. So Tipene was a name that I've always responded to because my nanny's always called me that. Like even at kohanga, I was always Tipene. I responded to Tipene more than I did, well, still now.
What does it stand for? What is Tipene?
It's Maori for Stephen.
Great.
Yeah. And then mic drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
cool.
I didn't even know that because I didn't even respond to Stephen. I was named after my older sister Jackie's high school crush. Apparently this hot dude named Steven.
Serious?
Straight up.
What a way to name.
Yeah. But she gave me Tānekaha as well, so I forgave her. Yeah. And she was like, yeah, man. Like I talked to her a few years back and she was like, oh, you know, I named you after this. I was, yeah, I heard the story. And she goes, yeah, I seen him like not long ago. I was like, oh, yeah, and he goes, oh, he's like fat and ugly now. I was like, oh, shit. Damn, thanks. Thanks for that.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, so that was my birth name. But my nickname, because everyone's got a nickname, man. In the family.
Uh-huh.
You all got nicknames. Most of you don't want to share them. That's cool. Up to you.
Everyone calls me Sissy.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't really know.
Sissy.
Yeah.
There you go. Family, eh? Thanks, family.
Yeah, thanks.
Shout out to
So
the
George.
George.
I don't even know where that came from, man. That was just my dad. I think he called everything George. I think we had a dog called George, probably, bro. Like
I'm gonna
George.
call you George.
Georgie.
George.
You know, Georgie Porgy. You know, and then you know, and Hori is a translation of George. Hori. It's not Hori as in wipe your nose, snotty nose fella. It's Hori.
Hori.
Yes. Maori for George. West Side George. Yeah.
Yo, there you go. A lot
Were
of
you-
people.
Were your like family supportive of you when you were doing your music and
My
like this?
mum was.
Yeah.
She's a singer.
What
yeah.
about your siblings, and did you like show them your stuff?
Yeah. At first, actually, they were kind of like fans, not in front of me,
Yeah.
type of thing.
Yeah.
They wouldn't tell me like, "Oh, that's me."
Yeah.
They'll be like,
Oh,
Oh,
that's yeah, whatever.
"Oh, is that your new song?" Oh, yeah. Then at the party, be like, "What more, Bruce? That man, bro, I got the song, bro. Let us listen." Then I'll turn up and like,
Yeah, too cool to tell you how they feel.
yeah, my older brother was like that. He was pretty cool like that. Like indirectly, he learned on my raps and then rapped them to people.
Yeah. Nice.
But it was the ultimate compliment. I saw it as like, bro, your bro was doing your raps, and then it was, bro, you should tell him to do your raps like that. I was like, nah, that's actually all good.
Was there like any sibling that you wanted to impress or wanted to?
Good question. Shit, is there anyone I wanted to impress? Probably
Maybe
probably my older brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of that. Yeah, he was like, you know, well, I looked up to him. His name's Marcus.
Marcus.
Yeah, if he's watching this, I hope he sees it. You know, but I looked up to him. You know, when I was growing up, because you know you want to be like your big brother. He was a bit of a fighter. He was a bit of a martial arts fella. He was a bit of a no-ears fella, and he didn't last long in the school system. He was just martial arts was his thing. You know, and I just admired that. I was like, fuck, I wish could do that. You know, he could like kick
up there and
kick
do
up
this.
there, and I was just like, fuck.
I can't even lift my leg now.
You know those shelters you walk under at school, and they're like, you know, they're just
Yeah.
with the poles. Like he could stand vertical and just kick it, and we were just like, oh, that's Marcus's shoe. Oh, he's been here, you know. And we're like, bro, like fuck. And yeah, he was like that dude, and I was like, man, music was my thing. I think, and so he was definitely one that I because he made me proud, you know. I wanted to do the same for him. Yeah. Yeah. Plus, when you got heaps of sisters.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah,
No.
you feel yeah.
Man, and what about the appreciation for the mix of Maori in English
Yeah.
and the songs and like
Yeah.
it's a style. It's a very
Yeah.
specific, special thing to do.
True.
You know, like my brain plays a lot with languages.
Yeah, well, you rap. I know you can rap, and you rap in your native tongue. That's amazing.
I
bro.
love it. Yeah.
Like that, what you do quite naturally, that's what I aspire to do, you know? And my native tongue, you know? Like to be able to speak freely as well as you can, because you can speak it like you're fluent in your language, and that's what we're trying to get back as Maori, you know? So my part, I play a part in that for more than just my own whānau. It's everyone that listens to me and follows me. The more Maori I learn, the more I put in the rhymes. And it's just how, I don't know, it's just, yeah, I think it comes, like, I don't actually have to think about it too much, because I'm not thinking about Maori words, I'm thinking whakaaro Maori, like I'm thinking from a Maori lens all the time. So it's not like I've got to go, oh yeah, I might, this rhyme works with this rhyme. If you think Maori, it's going to come out that way, whether you're using English or Maori, you know. I think, you know, like it's definitely, there's a saying, it goes, te reo me o ngā tikanga. So te reo is not just standalone, like it's the tikanga that goes with the reo that makes it what it is, you know. It's not just the language like siloed, it's actually how you say it. There's a way to say it, there's a protocol in saying what you're saying, you know. And that's it's te reo and the tikanga that goes with it that makes it what it is.
Do you feel comfortable? Do you keep feeling more comfortable with it? Do you feel like there's a better flow? Are you one of those guys that actually sit down and study the language, or you go on a different pace, you listen to people, you ask things?
I think there'd be a point where I do. Like I've been around te reo a lot growing up, and I think a lot of the kupu or a lot of the words that I've used, I've heard before. So I'm really just recalling things, like, you know, I'm recalling waiata, I'm recalling things that have been said before, and haka and the reasoning behind them. So until I run out of those, but I'm always kind of, I'm not trying to over like smash it. It's just the words are there. As a lyricist, it comes down to which ones you use, you know, and how you want to say what you want to say. It comes like, it's like, I see it as like, I think I've just never not done that. I think that's what it is. I've never not done that. So I wouldn't even know what it means to not do that. Yep. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's like I've never done covers. Like, and there's no to people that do covers, because I know people that do covers like Vegas, you know, and like you fellas amazing, man. You do awesome. Like, I'm like, whoa. I just, for me, I struggle with that because I can't connect with it.
Yeah, hard.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, because you haven't written it and you can't feel it.
Yeah, and usually I'll remember the story that's behind the song, and it'll help me, it'll guide me.
Yes.
Yeah.
For what I do with Stu is interesting because it's quite stripped back, the Let's Go Descarrego thing, the duo. So we always talk about those things, like, because we don't even get to play popular songs. They're covers, but sometimes they are from like the 1800s in New Orleans. You know, like the people don't even know what they are. So what we do is that idea of like, I'm going to own this. I'm going to get this song that I love and I'm going to own it. I'm going to make it mine. I'm going to, you know, I'm going to make my interpretation of this. So that's the kind of covering a song that I appreciate, you know, because I'm the same, like I love the original. You know, like creating drum beats, you know, and I have that thing with like, oh, okay, this is like an orchestra in my mind, you know, like composing and doing those beautiful things. But with covers, I feel like keeps me sharp because there's a discipline in the cover.
Totally, bro.
You know, and when you get this chance of like understanding, I'm never gonna sound like the guy, so I might as well find my voice. And it's because we all resonate with songs, right? We all connect with a bunch of songs, and then when you get to perform that, you're like, I feel like I gotta put my character into it.
It's definitely, man, I admire it, man. I admire people that can do that what you're talking about, because like I think for me that's a lot more difficult to do. I mean, like I rap heaps of other people's songs, and you know, when I'm just cruising around because I just like them.
Yeah.
But you know, to be able to perform them in front of people, it's a totally different. It's like I have to go outside of myself almost. I don't know. I mean, I don't even know.
Oh
it's
man,
weird.
There's so much appreciation, like, and it's the thing that is actually the thing. It's being original, you know, like it's writing your own thing. Like that's where you want to be as an artist, you know. Like
sure.
There's beauty in the covers, all of course, you know, and there's value as well. But you want to feed your soul by understanding what's going inside, right, within, and put it out there.
Yeah, that's really cool. I think that's just a whole nother discipline in itself, like to be able to know all those things. And I'll take my hat off to anybody that can do that. Like, you know, I've got a bro that knows like crazy. He's like a jukebox. He does karaoke. He does like what Vegas does. But there is a flip side to it, that he knows so many melodies, so many other songs, so many riffs, that he can't think of one himself.
He blocks.
It blocks him because he's always going to find something that's similar. Oh, that sounds like Stevie Wonder. And then it's gone, you know? And I'm just like, damn, you know, like...
Hard, because he could make up some really good stuff.
Yeah, because, you know, because he's trained to the point where he has to know the song. And he can actually sing that shit just like Stevie Wonder, just like, Ali Campbell, just like real good. And you're like, damn, I think you might be better, bro. You know, like that good. And I appreciate that. But, you know, I'm like, I would rather do what I'm doing.
Yeah, for sure.
Even though that's amazing, and I'm just like, damn, bro.
Man, that's what, even the guys who play the covers, I see like as the point is to do your own thing as well. You know, you gotta do it, man. You gotta. It doesn't matter. Some people might just write, some people might just create the songs, but it really makes sense. You know,
I get it. I get the progression. But I just haven't experienced it, so I wouldn't even be able to speak on it, to be honest. Like, everything that I'm quite grateful for my journey as well. You know, like, you know, like just that whole have to come up with every boom, every pink, everything. You know, you're just like, well, that all came out of my brain, so you know that's pretty cool. And I've never not done it, so it's just like, I understand, like, you know, someone like Vegas who's got all his pedals and stuff, and he can play all his instruments, and he can just boom, and then play the riffs, and then sing the song, and then drop everything out, and then bring it back in, and then have a bit of a backing vocal. And I was like, bro,
entertainer as well, right? Like it was not enough.
Amazing,
fucking great entertainer.
Bro. I was like, bro, I understand how much discipline that takes, how much brain capacity that takes, and you doing it on the spot. These people don't even know how mean you are. They're just kind of feeling the vibe and go, ooh.
Reading the crowds.
Yeah, that's cool. You know, I was like, bro, but you understand the intelligence, the musical intelligence of that dude. And guys like him, you know, it's just like, shit, I'm just going to sit back and just enjoy this. Can I do that? Nah. Nah.
We could stay here for... Sorry, were you
self-taught, like with your engineering, or did you...
I was into video games back in the days. Video games was a big thing, like the arcade ones, stand-up ones. Yeah. I never had any money.
Which ones? Street Fighter?
Yeah, Street Fighter was one. That was probably the main one. Street Fighter, Hyper Fighter was my favorite. Not the Super Free shit. But I used to just sit there and just watch. And I could sort of watch people and just go, oh, yeah, I'm sure I could beat that dude. You know, like... Oh, I was like in my mind, like not saying, "Oh, I'm gonna beat your ass." Yeah. But I got to the point where I'd always have no money, you know. But the guys were like, "Bro, if you can't beat him, bro, let him play it." And then boom, I'd beat him, and like, "Oh shit, bro, just play it, just keep playing it." And then you sort of grew from there. I became that dude that kind of really sussed it out real quick. So it really translated, to audio engineering, where I saw that and I was just like, I'm going to clock this game. All right, I want to stay here till I get this or get what I need. And I don't even know what half the things are called, but I know how to do them. And that's weird as hell because, you know, when you go in to teach music into schools, You know, because I've been into schools through the Music Commission and that, you know, like schools that people that can read music, like students can read music, and I'm like, what does that say?
What does that say, bro?
What does that say? Yeah, well, you know that bit? Yeah. And they're like, but we know your songs, and you make songs, and you can do this, and you can. I says, look, it's definitely an advantage of knowing music theory, but that doesn't mean you're gonna be a great musician.
Do you play as well, or did you learn?
Nah.
You don't play?
I don't play nothing. I just bang heaps of stuff till it sounds cool. Yeah. Honestly, I don't play. I can't pick up a guitar and play it, which is weird because, you know, people are like, but a lot of your songs got guitars in them. I said, yeah, I figured out how to play a guitar without playing a guitar.
No, that's cool. That's cool though.
Yeah.
And you got the beat. You know where you want it to go. You know the speed. You know.
Basically,
the
I
flow.
make beats to rap to, because I was writing more raps than I had beats. So I was like, man, I've got to be able to keep up with the raps. So I need to start making something to accompany the beats, the raps. Yeah, so I just kind of forced myself into making. It was necessary. Yeah. I had to create.
But you enjoy the process of making?
Yeah. Well, I understand it. The first couple of times you go through, it's quite grueling. You're like, shit, am I even going to get this song sounds like shiz, you know? And then you're like, and when you get a good one, you're like, man, okay, I remember what I did. Or the process, it's never the same, you know, when you go into another song. But I think when you know the components, what goes into a song, you just remember that. Okay, if I got that part, then this component here, I need to figure out what goes here. Because I almost already know what I'm going to say sometimes, but it's never one way. You know, I might have the beat first, and then I write the rhyme to the beat. I might have the melody of the bass line first in my head, boom, dum, 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 and I'll be like, okay, how do I make that? How do I make that? Boom, boom, boom. You know, you just keep doing it, like it's repetitive in my head, and once yeah, and then I'm already sort of thinking of a flow, boom, boom, da 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 da, boom, 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 da 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 da, boom, boom.
Harmony.
Yeah, and then just I think beatboxing helped me heaps, eh?
Yeah, I was about to go there.
Yeah,
beatboxing.
Because like I know what in my head what it sounds like. I might not sound like that when it comes out, but I know where it's going, and it's quite frustrating for people that are collaborating because they're like, "What is he doing?" Yeah, what's that? What did you say? You know, and I'm like, I don't know. You know, like, oh, what do you mean you don't know? Oh, well, does that feel cool? And you just go with the feel. It's always about the feel. We don't think music, we feel it. We feel it. You know.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm that type of musician. I'll feel it.
Do you drink a lot from improvising? Do you improvise and then you let it flow? Do you record?
All the time. All the time. You know. Sometimes this is quite funny because my kids know this now. Where I would hum a flow. I'd hum a flow. I wouldn't have the words. I just hum a flow. Yeah. But I don't know what you really done. But it's better what you done. That it wasn't there to do that. Over there beating on my native bump. And they're like, those are not even real words.
They will be soon.
And I tell you what,
you do it.
And when they hear it, they're like, I know this song. Do you know a song? It wasn't a song though. But, you know, they know the process now, so they just kind of go, oh, that sounds cool. Yeah. Yeah, and they're little vibers as well. So, you know, especially my girls, they vibe all the time. They just got it naturally. They're better than me, I think. You know, they're way better than me, I reckon. They're going to be way better than me. And that's cool.
Man, I tell my students that quite a lot when they're starting, because some of them like to read and they realize that it's good for them to read, and some of them are much more about listening and understanding. Yeah. And I always say it, you don't have to sing it for me, because you might be a bit self-conscious about singing, but sing it for yourself, you know? Like if you make sense of what's written there, try to vocalize that, because the moment you are capable of doing that, your body will want to play that. You might not have the muscle memory yet, but you're making sense of where you want to go. So what you said now, like for me, is pure like class, master class of creative process, you know, like of how to create a song. Because when I'm that, and
pretty much,
you're experimenting, you know, and sometimes it makes you laugh.
Yeah.
Sometimes it makes you sad.
Yeah.
You know, like, and then you're like, okay.
You connect with it, yeah. It makes you feel a type of way.
Yeah.
You know, and you always remember that feeling. So when you're writing it, you go, you know, if I'm experiencing that feeling, you're like, oh shit, that's the words. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aotearoa, this is the place I'm from. Dum, dum, dum. Rangi Aotearoa, where my tipuna's home. Yeah. Boom. All right, I got you. Aotearoa, hey. Aotearoa, this is the place I'm from. Rangi Aotearoa, my tipuna's home. Tahitian trace, we all descend from Kupe. And you can hear this in our native tongue. Our people celebrate our culture hard. Kapa haka waka maha, we know the stars. Ta moko on Whakairo carving through the arts. Tonga puro, we know when our wānanga starts. Right here on the marae, aturanga waiwai. Kōrero tawhito coming from the pai. Ruku kaimoana never happening in high tide. Kawa and tikanga, no one rides right in the tradition. We keep the spirit of the land. You feel it, understand. It's the spirit of a man. And I it from every clan. The essence of our tribe. If we see eye to eye, our people, we never die. Here to stay, here to stay. Maori here to stay. One step forward for my people every day, every day, every day. So you gon' hear me say, air to stand proud. Hati ngati anyway, anyway, anyway. Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
Man.
Like that.
Man, where does Tipene want to be that he hasn't been yet? Where is Tipene going with his music, with his life, with his teaching? What is he looking? Is he looking at the future? What can he see there for him?
If it's a place, it's Tapu Tapu Ate.
Yeah.
I want to go there. I want to do a concert in our homeland, in our ancestral homeland, in Rangiate and Tahiti. I want to do a show right there. Because, you know, I want to go to New York, of course. I want to go to LA, of course. But if there was one place I wanted to go and do music and share this journey and bring it back, it would be there. Go to the homeland. Yeah, that would be deadly.
That'd be amazing.
Right? Just do a fat show right where Kupe was born. That's what's up. That's the mic drop for me.
Okay.
You know? Because for me it's full circle. You know? We're talking, what I say, he came in around 900 AD, you know, and I think it's actually before that, but, you know, didn't have paper then. I think I love history, especially when it's to do with our, you know, the reason I'm here, you know, we managed to keep track of all that, you know. I'm proud of, like, everyone that came before, because they would have thought 100, 200, 300 years ahead of their time for them to come up with this, you know, for them to come up with these waiata, because nothing was written, you know, the haka, the place names, the stories, the pūrākau, the everything that's attached to Aotearoa, culturally. It's amazing how we've been able to retain all that, you know, over hundreds and hundreds of years. I just think that's amazing. That actually fuels me as an MC, you know, because we come from a crazy line of master orators, you know. That was our thing, or one of our things. And I like to say I tap into that energy and that heritage that empowers me as Tipene, you know. So when I'm out there doing my thing, people are like, oh, you're the only one rapping like that. No, I'm not. It's been going on for hundreds of years. I'm just the only one. I'm just the one doing it now. And I hope to inspire others, you know. I really do. And I think if we go back to our initial thing about the change, I think it's happening. You know, if we talk about that Silver Scroll thing, I found out through an interview like this that I said, Tipene, do you know that Tūranga Waiwai is the first song with Te Reo Māori that's been in the top 5 for 28 years?
Wow.
And I was like,
that's a big achievement.
That's a big one. And it's a shame, right?
Yeah, that it's taken
It's a
so
big
long.
achievement, at the same time it sucks.
well, yeah, you can look at it like that. Moana and the Moa Hunters was the last song. And it was a 94, 93 or something. And that wasn't even I was just like, and why is that? How comes that? Does that mean that there's a change happening? Does it mean that we're more accepted now? Does it mean that?
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? You know, so like, I just think that it's encouraging to know that my goal, like my purpose in doing what I'm doing, is about re-indigenizing, you know, through the knowledge that our ancestors have given us. And that's a sign of that happening, you know. 28 years, shit, I bet there's going to be one next year.
Yeah.
And the year after that. And the year after that. You know?
Yeah.
I was like, this shit's making a difference, man. You know, I was like, damn, I didn't know that. Because I don't really know too much about the APRA Silver Scrolls.
But now that I know.
But what the hell's up with that is what I want to say. Because we're mean, you know? Are you telling me Macy Dicko has never got an APRA Silver Scroll?
Yeah, what the hell? She's
are you
so
telling
good.
me Tama Waipara, are you telling me Troy Kingi, all those amazing artists never got an APRA Silver Scroll? Well, I'll tell you what, these are top 5. 3 of them are Maori. And that's us 3. Troy, Maisie, and myself. And the top 5. You know, and I'm like, that's what's up.
That's what's up.
That's what's up.
Yeah. My man, what a pleasure. We could be here for hours, eh? We could keep it going, eh? We still got some Black Label, and we're gonna go hard in the foods right now. You guys are so polite. You guys were like,
when the cameras are off,
we're gonna smash this. Like, yes, it's gonna disappear. Woo!
Yeah.
So, okay, one thing at a time. Blue Ginger, thank you so much. What a happy moment for us to have a blessed, beautiful meal here for us. Nutritious, amazing. Thank you. Shout out. Thank you, Mr. Taylor. Good job. You good? Yeah. Good response tonight. We have some cool people watching us. Thank you so much. That's good.
I wish I could see your face. I feel bad. I can't see your face.
He keeps hiding, man. He's a pro. He finds his way. The Paea. Did you have fun tonight?
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was like really inspirational. I just feel like I've been getting, like, soaking up a lot of truth. So it's been good.
We get to learn a lot, eh, here, eh?
I just feel like I've just been like getting inspired. So, yeah.
Get some time to digest, eh? We need that time.
That's good.
So I just want to quickly finish with the story that I started telling, and I was waiting because I knew it would be the right moment. So when you were explaining about KRS-One, and then you gave everybody like this beautiful explanation of who the guy is. When we started working together and I got to meet Tipene teaching and doing his thing, I'm like, so that's the bro, that's the teacher, you know, like no comparisons, of course, because everyone is unique. But I had the thing, I was like, he's doing the thing that I admire the most in rappers, you know, because I have KRS, like, not even as a top hip hop artist, I see him as a teacher, as what he is, you know. I'm like, wow, that guy is telling the truth in the most beautiful way and entertaining people and making them happy and teaching stuff. And then I came across your work, and then I'm like, of course, there are plenty more people doing that. So for me, it's such a big one, bro, to have you here, to tell your funny stories, your inspiring stories. Yeah. And thanks for supporting this. It's so important for us, man, to have you here. So
yeah, man, but mihi to you and your vision, like what I said at the start as well, your vision for what this could be. I think what it's probably doing more than you probably realize, than any of us realize, whether it's for ourselves or the people listening. I think it's important, man, because, you know, these, we have technology. These are the tools of today, you know. If you use them right, you can get the right messages to the people that need it, you know. And that's the coolest thing, bro, you know. We all play our part in this, so, you know, for having the kinners to do this. That's what's up, you know. Big kinners, bro. You need big kinners to do this stuff, bro. You know what I'm talking about, eh?
We all have it. To buy a little.
Gotta have kinners, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's straight up, like, you know, it's to back yourself, man, and grab the ball and just run it. And then when you get smashed over, you pick it up, you run that shit again, and you just keep doing it until you break through, because you will break through. And when you break through, you get a try, and you're like, yeah, okay, kick the ball over, man, let's go again. Yeah. That's what's up, man. You know, and yeah, bro. I admire you for what you're doing, and you got a cool little buzz going on here, you in the bar, hey. Just
man.
organic as, man, you know, it's cool. And, you know, it was massive to have you here. We're going to work together. Let me say that now.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to happen.
Putting it out in the ether.
Yeah. Oh, it's
manifestation.
Yeah.
It's energy, man. Hey, it's energy. You know, you it's energy that you know that we're attracted to. Yeah, and let's just keep feeding that energy, man, because it gets stronger and stronger, and it can go the other way too if you feed that one. But hey,
for sure. Yeah.
Up to you.
Keep it up. Keep it up.
Up to you.
So Tipene's music. It's in all the main platforms. Is there anything that you give priority to where people can go and actually support your work? Or?
I just know everyone has different ways of listening to music and consuming music, whether it's YouTube. Stuff's all over YouTube. If you're cool enough to have a subscription, go to Spotify. Yeah. You know, it's on everywhere. But I know that for people that don't have Spotify and all of those flash things, YouTube, you just find me everywhere, man. It's everywhere. Every song is out up there, SoundCloud. You know, and the interviews, if you fellas can last through it.
Yeah,
heaps of
a
them.
lot of people will, man. Yeah.
But there's just go to my page. There's a link tree on there. Linktree is kind of like a cheap website where you can just click on everything without all the flashy things. You can find that on Facebook. Yeah, Tipene Music, Tipene Harma, Tipene
everywhere. And can we still buy your album? Because I simply love the album that I got from your last album, Heritage Trail. Is that correct?
Heritage Trail. Yeah. So there's the physicals sold out like crazy.
I got mine.
Yeah, man, you did, bro, and appreciate that support, man. You can buy it on Bandcamp too. Cool. You can just choose your price. Yeah. You know.
Let's work on a vinyl next time, eh?
Wow, yeah, that's what's coming. It's already in the mix.
Yes. I like vinyls. They're cool.
Oh, and a bro was telling us now that they do this cool art in the vinyl.
Oh, they're putting art on the vinyl now.
Shit.
Yeah, I'll show you some stuff. It might give you some inspiration. Like we almost we almost wanted. We didn't even know the band.
Yeah.
We were not even listening to the bros band, and he was just like, check this out. And then as it spins, fantastic. Yeah.
Bruh.
Because I just got one from Coromandel. We always talk about the guy for me, and it's this beautiful magenta, like this pink album from the Beautiful Revolution. Wow. And it came like autographed and all that shit. Like I don't go much for that shit, but I wanted to support the guy because he changed my life with his lyrics and everything. So got this album, and it's like pink. And then you're like, oh. Like, you know, I was not even listening to it. I was just like, cool.
You don't get the same feeling from like listening
to a stream.
It's like,
it's. I'll be doing some physicals. There's no doubt. I'll put them on my link tree too. Be Tipene Music on Linktree. That's a weird thing to say all at once, but it's on the Instagram as well.
Cool.
There's a link there. Yeah.
Let's use technology in our favor, eh?
That's right, man. It's a tool, you know. Nice. Don't live in it. Let it work for you.
Oh, another inspirational quote right there. We're gonna be chopping this up.
Dropping gems like a dumb thief.
I think we should finish with this one because that was beautiful. Yeah. My man, thank you so much. Thanks to Paea. So for all our beautiful viewers, supporters, people watching us, thank you so much. You know where to find us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Go to altbase.nz to find all our social medias and all the pages. If you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, you give us a big help, because that's the platform that we're look forward to grow as soon as we can, to generate more content and have more cool people running cool shows in Fitsianga. How cool is that? I'll see you on Monday with another awesome show, and enjoy your weekend. Peace.